With a chance for their 9th consecutive series victory, the Long Beach Coast rematch against the Oakland Ballers after walking off to victory on Tuesday night in an 8-7 finish. Jesse Cook with you next to Joey Miller for our beach ball pregame report. Johnny Pappas fires off the sacrifice fly that gets the job done. It scores Jalen Edmonds and wins the ball game. It's the second walk-off in Coast history, but it came after some hefty trials throughout the game.
Yeah, an early start for the Ballers, but a slow one at that. It was a pitching duel between Aiden Rissy and Nathan Hemmerling. Initially, in the first 2 innings for the Coast, they were trying to get that first run across. They were trying to tie that 1-0 lead for the Ballers. They got runners just 90 feet away. Cooper Vest with that triple, his first of the season, and then Jacob Jablonski with the double. He got his way to third, and he was left stranded with 2 outs. Not much you can do there, and then that big 4-run rally just seemed like a gut punch, a 5-0 lead for the Ballers. But lucky for the Coast, they responded immediately, and I think Nathan Hemmerling picked up off of that, off of his next 2 innings, where he went scoreless, finishing out 6 innings of work and leading to the victory there.
And the middle innings are where the offense really shined. You mentioned that 5-0 hole after the top of the 4th inning. Well, a 3-run bottom of the 4th, followed up by a 1-run 5th and a 3-run 6th, throws the Coast into the driver's seat. The game, however, turns back into the Bees' momentum in the top of the 9th inning with 2 outs. Jeter Ibarra, the Pioneer League leader in home runs, ties it up with an opposite field dinger off of Zach Volker, the Coast closer, who has been so shut down with a team best 6 saves on the year. But the game is buoyed offensively by Matthew Bardowell, who piles on 4 RBIs in the win. Oh boy, the Fontana native has just been on a tear, Joey.
Yeah, and you could see he teared into that baseball for his first RBIs of the night. A 2-run bomb that was sent just over that center field wall, 415 feet, 114 off his bat. One of the craziest, loudest home runs we've seen here at Blair Field thus far. But obviously some home run threats on the other side. You mentioned Jeter Ibarra. He's a guy that needs to be quieted. That bat that needs to be quieted for the next 2 games. Unfortunate that it had to happen on 2 outs before Volker could have potentially tied the league lead in saves at 7. There will be time. There will be time, but Bardowell, man, 4 RBI last night. What a fantastic night for him.
That home run accounting for 2 of them, and there's a silver lining to that Ibarra home run, because without it, we wouldn't have had the dramatics of the Johnny Pappas sacrifice fly to walk it off, scoring Jalen Edmonds in from third base. And we talked to Papas Fritas after his incredibly clutch moment in the 9th inning yesterday. Take a listen. Johnny Pappas, walk-off hero. Figured you might need a towel after taking the bath out between first and second base from your teammates' mug.
Yeah,
so here you go.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Let me get this going a little bit. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was fun to watch. What was going through your mind when you were getting set for that at-bat? You see Jalen Edmonds on third, and you know that there are fewer than 2 outs, so you can win the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that pitch on the mound was throwing a whole lot of strikes, so I knew how to make him come to me a little bit, but at the same time, I knew that anything in the outfield, Jalen's going to be running home scoring. So try to keep it as simple as I could, find some barrel, and it turned out good.
And that was your first multi-RBI game of the season. What's been working for you of late?
Yeah, just been working a lot with gloss, extra swings, getting some stuff done, little mechanical changes here and there, but mostly just getting the extra swings. Coming out of not playing for a little bit, just getting as many reps as I can, that kind of aspect of it. That's where I've seen the most growth in my game.
Can you show us? You've got your bat here with us. Can we see what's going on?
Yeah, really simplest thing is starting the hands lower, trying to work them more up, trying to get more on top of the ball rather than missing up in the air, trying to think more of that line drive approach. And as simple as that sounds, has provided a lot more success for me.
What's been the biggest change for you working with Troy Gloss?
Honestly, it is how simple it is talking to him. You would think that big leaguer, like dude in the league, you'd think that he has all these crazy philosophies with hitting, but really it's one thing here, one thing there, and it's like, all right, man, let's do it. And it's quick. You see it with myself and a lot of other guys too. It's not rocket science when it comes to Troy.
And you thought you were retired when this season started. Then you get the call that the Coast need you. What's been your favorite part of being back as a baseball player?
Honestly, just understanding that baseball doesn't really give out second chances. So to have one and really dive into it and be appreciative of every moment, whether I'm striking out or I'm walking off a game, I'm just glad to be out here and help a team win.
And now I also have to ask, what's your favorite nickname so far for Johnny Pappas? Because we've got Tony Plush, we've got Papas Fritas. Is there another one that we don't know about?
I mean, Anthony's up there. Anthony's the top choice for me right now. But on any type of Pappas, Johnny P, I like it. I hear a bunch of them. I'm with all of them.
Tony Plush, Anthony, Johnny Pappas. Great job last night. It's fun to watch.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Johnny Pappas talking about some of his favorite nicknames. Anthony Pappas, Pappas Fritas. We have to credit our team reporter Nina Corral for coming up with that one. Tony Plush, because I guess he plays a little bit like Nyjer Morgan did in the major leagues. But Johnny Pappas, guy who thought he was retired when the season started, now making his name known and in the Long Beach Coast history books.
Yeah, Tony Pappas Fritas is what I like to call him because he reminds me of that playoff run for Nyjer Morgan for the Milwaukee Brewers. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Tony Plush is his nickname. He's already kind of accumulated that name Anthony, so I just shortened it down to Tony there, but it flows into the Pappas Fritas. But fear the flavor saver, the mustache, getting it done, and he's going to have a day off today. In the starting lineup, at the very least, he might come in at some point if needed, but he's going to have a day off after that crazy night last night.
And I know a lot of Long Beach State fans will be happy to hear about the new signing. Dylan Lena was an expert slugger and third baseman for the Dirtbags these last 2 seasons, and he's from the area. He's from Carson, played a little bit of collegiate summer ball outside of the area in Compton for the Academy Barons in the California Collegiate League. So there's a hometown flavor to this new edition of the Coast going into Wednesday night, and he is in the starting lineup. We mentioned that Johnny is not. There are a few changes from last night that we'll get into later here during our Beach Ball pregame report. A staple in the starting 9, though, has been Matthew Bardowell. The 6'4" right fielder from Fontana has just been unbelievable so far this season, and we mentioned his home run yesterday, but Joey, this has been consistency spanning from day one.
Yeah, they call him Bardo Beast for a reason, just because of his stature, his demeanor. He's 6'4", a lot of muscle on that guy. Obviously can get a ball out of here in a hurry, but you don't talk about his speed enough. You know, typically you put the slowest outfielder in right field. I should know, I was a right fielder. But he's actually one of the faster outfielders, one of the faster players on this franchise, where if he gets aboard with those RBI singles, he'll make his way around. He doesn't need Jalen Edmonds to come in for him, as Jalen Edmonds did last night for Cuba Bess in that 9th inning rally. But really an all-around great guy, great 5-tool player, and I think he's going to bring some of that momentum into these last 2 games of the homestand.
Definitely excited for that. The Coast are at home tonight and tomorrow. Make sure you come out to the ballpark for the Independence Day celebration. Coming a couple days early, but it's the last Coast home game before July 4th, so there will be plenty of fireworks. But you talked about speed. How about bat speed? Bardo has been bringing the fireworks and the boom with a lot of mashes this season, and yesterday he had some inspiration for that dinger. We talked with him earlier about it. Hey, Matthew, 4 RBIs yesterday. You guys have been rolling as a team. You're in first place once again, but what's been going right for you specifically?
I think we have something to play for, that magic number we're obviously working on. So I think just focusing on that kind of alleviates the pressure. You know, now it kind of becomes more team-oriented, and it's been paying off.
And it seems like you like setting records. Over the last couple of weeks, you recorded a 5-hit ball game. You've been pushing up with a ton of extra base hits. Yesterday, that home run left the yard about 420 feet. That was insane. What was your reaction when you cut into that?
Honestly, in that moment, we were down 5, so I was just trying to, you know, put a good swing on the ball. I knew one swing wasn't going to tie the game, so just focus on getting a good pitch to hit. I think it was a 3-1 count, so I told myself if he throws a fastball, I'm going to unload on it, and it matched up.
I heard somebody told you to hit that home run.
Yeah, yesterday was my girlfriend's birthday. She said, you know what I want for my birthday, and she demonstrated a swing, home run swing, and you know what? I think it hit me rounding second when I saw where they were sitting in the stand, so that was pretty cool to do.
What was it like looking up and seeing everyone celebrating like that?
It was a pretty good crowd for a Tuesday night yesterday, so it was pretty loud. I kind of blacked out after I pointed up, but it was a pretty cool moment for sure.
Who had a better bat flip, your girlfriend in the mock swing or you right there?
She definitely had a better bat flip. I try to stay away from the bat flips. Hers was way better than mine.
Now magic number down to 6. You mentioned that it's on your mind. Still got a lot of time to go and clinch that playoff spot at the end of the first half. What's the key in your mind to go and do it?
Just doing it as early as possible. We talk about in the locker room, foot on the gas. When you have somebody down, keep beating on them down, keep beating on them when they're down, and let's just knock this thing out early.
Pedal to the metal. All right. Thanks, Matt. Now it's fun talking to Matthew Bardwell. Thank you for tuning in. If you're just joining us, if you're on the Home Team Network, you just heard the Matthew Bardwell interview. If you're following along with us on our YouTube audio stream, then you waited a little bit of time. But regardless, we are elated to be here for July 1st baseball. Jesse Cook with Joey Miller. And we talked during most of that last 10-minute segment about how well Matthew Bardwell can hit the ball but do everything else on the field. And Joey, lately we've been seeing it in droves. He has the second highest number of outfield putouts recorded on the team defensively, so we know he can range around the outfield. You mentioned his wheels, and he brings the brains that completes the five-tool player.
Yeah, and he's got the arm for it too. Luckily, there haven't been too many needs for close plays at the plate, but Matthew Bardwell has found his way into that top part of the lineup. He's kind of ranged around the middle part of the lineup, actually, but tonight he's going to be in the 4th spot in this middle game for the Oakland Ballers and the Long Beach Coast. Aaron Miles and Troy Percival, both World Series champions, now exchanging lineup cards. And right now, the Oakland Ballers, they're a little bit downtrodden after what looked like a lot of momentum for them in an early 5-0 lead Tuesday night. And unfortunately for them, but fortunately for the Coast, they charged back, and it was a close one at the end of it. Unfortunately, Zach Volker was just an out away from recording his 7th save, which would have tied him for the league lead. Jeter Ibarra said, "I don't think so," and sent one over the wall. He's now got 17 home runs on the season, leading the Pioneer League. And, you know, right now, I think before the last Beach Ball pregame show, we talked about how this ballpark does not give up as many home runs as Raimondi Park. And while that may be, we did see 3 long balls last night, one from Jeter Ibarra, one from Connor Smith, who's not in the lineup tonight, and then, of course, Matthew Bardwell, who we've been talking about here a lot on the pregame show. You just saw the interview. 4 ribbies last night. He went 2 for 4, and I think right now for Percival, he's pretty comfortable with these first 4 on his lineup tonight. It's going to be pretty much the exact same with Pelt, Corona, Vest, and Bardwell. I'll get you those lineups in just a second, but right now for the Ballers, they're going to try a different look. They've taken 3 of their starters out of the lineup from last night. Leahy, Blythe, and Smith are out. They're going to replace them with a lot more lefties, a lefty-centric lineup in the middle part of the lineup, starting with a righty, ending with 2, but really in that big chunk there, they're going to go all at it with some of their best hitters to try and get on a pitcher that they're pretty familiar with. Nick Bautista, in his maybe revenge plot tour of trying to avenge himself. He was cut by traded by the Oakland Ballers a couple weeks ago to the Long Beach Coast. They didn't have a spot for him. They didn't feel like they had a place for him in their roster. Percival snatched him up, knowing that he's got some minor league experience, and he's been pretty excellent for the Coast this season. 3-1 record, this being his 5th start in 6 appearances. 29 strikeouts and only 9 walks. You'd love to see that ratio.
And he already has earned his revenge game against the Ballers, going 5 innings back on June 18th, allowing 3 runs on 8 hits, but striking out 5 and earning the W. That was his first time facing his old team after he had been traded during one of those Coast road trips. Reminder, Nick Bautista did face the Coast twice and kind of tore them up. No earned runs across 2 innings pitched. There were 3 unearned, but he also struck out 3 batters in that time. So Nick Bautista has done damage against both teams.
And that was back when he was working from the pen. We see a play ball kid. That's Owen, a son of our vice president, Claire, and we had a conversation with him just before the broadcast. Absolutely adorable kid, and has a lot to say.
He's got a great mind for baseball. He says he wants to hit 1,000 home runs this year.
We'd like
80
to see,
today.
Yeah, we'd like to see 1,000 home runs potentially from the Coast. Right now, it's about getting those early runs, which is something that the Coast were really good at the beginning of this season. Since then, the trend has shifted towards the final 3 innings. It really seemed like the Coast were up and running in a lot of these games, but As of the latest trend, 129 of the 353 total runs on the season now have come in those final 3 innings. Now 126 in those first 3 innings. Those middle 3 have been kind of silent, except for last night when they scored 7 to come back and eventually lead to a walk-off victory by Johnny Pappas, who gets the day off today. Let's get you the defensive arrangement for your Long Beach Coast to start things off. They're taking the field in their classic home cream uniforms, Long Beach across the chest and the teal hats. It's going to be Eddie Pelk in left field, Emilio Corona in center, and Matthew Bardwell in right. Around the horn in the infield, a new name, Dylan Lena, the former Long Beach State dirtbag. He's going to be making his professional debut in the starting lineup tonight. And then Anthony Mata, Jacob Jablonski up the middle, Cooper Vest at first. Cuba Best behind the plate. This is his first time behind the dish in 12 games. He's going to be catching Nick Bautista. As for the Ballers, let's get you that starting lineup. They're going to kick things off with their go-ahead leadoff man, Tremaine Cobb and Isai Santos. And Jake Allgaier making an appearance in the starting lineup. He was a pinch hitter last night. He'll be in the 3 spot. Jaden Kalura, also a pinch hitter last night. He'll be in the 4 spot, the catcher. Jeter Ibarra at first base, the home run king of the Pioneer League as of right now. Cam Buford in left field. Paul Winland, the former Long Beach Coast member. He's going to be in the DH spot like he was last night. This time in the 7 spot. He was in the 6 spot last night. And the lineup rounds out with Brendan O'Sullivan and T.J. McKenzie. T.J. McKenzie came in for those final 2 innings in left field in replacement of Cam Buford. And this is a guy that you don't want to get on base. There are a couple guys that you do not want to let on base, especially early in these innings. Tremaine Cobb, T.J. McKenzie, some of the most prolific stolen basemen of this modern era of Pioneer League baseball. T.J. McKenzie had 37 stolen bases last year. This year he's got 10. Chatted with him before the game. I'll tell you more about him when he comes up to the plate. But to the top of the lineup we go. Tremaine Cobb steps up to the dish. He's having a chat with Cuba Best behind the plate. And now steps into the right-handed batter's box. We are just about ready to get underway here at Blair Field. Nick Bautista works from the stretch, and the first pitch is fired in there for strike 1. A 91-mile-per-hour fastball. We are underway at 6:33 p.m. Pacific time, 2 minutes ahead of schedule. Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you're tuned in from. The 0-1 from Nick Bautista is another called strike at 93, starting to pick up the velo early in this contest. Bautista, the Monterey Park native. Bautista takes a breath. Here's the 0-2 to Cobb. Beautiful pitch there. Another fastball, going straight fastballs to start things off here. But that one missing just a little high and outside. 71 degrees and sunny here at Blair Field, as has been the trend really for all these initial home games. Next pitch misses up and inside for an off speed at 82. And now a 2-2 count. The Ballers got ahead 1-0 in the first inning. Tremaine Cobb was the first out of last night's game. Next pitch misses outside. Some movement there on that fastball. A full count is how this game kicks off. Here's the payoff pitch. This one hard hit on the ground and through into left field. There's the first hit of the game right away. Cobb is aboard with a leadoff single. Cobb went 0 for 5 last night, so that's his first hit of the series, as it brings up Isai Santos.
And Cobb waiting until late in his at-bat to make contact is very on par with what he did yesterday. 3 times he went swinging for pitches on a 2-strike count.
Now this is where that string of left-handed hitters come up to the plate. Jake Allgaier is a switch hitter. He's in the on-deck circle, but he'll be obviously batting from the left side. First pitch to Santos. Hits right around the kneecaps for strike 1. Being held on at first, Tremaine Cobb. Gets about 3.5 steps. Next pitch to Santos. Misses a little lower. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Tonight's center fielder. This is his second appearance against Oakland, where he got his previous win. Next pitch is fouled near the on-deck circle on the Long Beach coast side. Now a 1-2. In that last appearance against Oakland, he got his third win. That was at Oakland, where he went 5 innings of work, gave up only 3 runs on 8 hits. Throw back to first to keep Tremaine Cobb honest. Had 2 relief appearances for Oakland against Long Beach, as Jesse mentioned in the pregame show, the beach ball pregame show. Now here's the 1-2. Tremaine Cobb heading towards second on the hit and run. This one fouled back to the top of the screen. Count remains the same. Santos 1 for 4 last night. Walk and a double. He was left stranded in the 5th. That was that inning right after the 3-run rally in response to the 4-run rally, that big 4th inning where 7 runs came to the plate, and Nathan Hemmerling did the job keeping a runner in scoring position stranded. He went 6 innings of work last night, though he did not get the victory. This one towards the first base side. Vest steps on the bag, throws to second, and there is the unconventional double play.
That was a foul ball.
Oh.
Yeah, Bud Dunklin, the first base umpire, put both arms up to signal foul. Cooper Vest, though, with an Oscar-worthy performance at first to try and earn the double play.
So it'll still be a 1-2 count as things shift back into place here. You mentioned Bud Dunklin at first base. Ryan Blaberg behind the plate, calling every pitch. The crew chief tonight. And Bradley Murda at third base. 1-2, a line drive right into the glove of Jablonski. Then on to first. Gets the double play for sure this time. Jablonski kicking off a twin killing. Double play clears up the bases. That is the 20th double play turned on the season for the Long Beach Coast. Now Jake Allgaier has the bases clear and 2 outs. Nick Bautista can face the minimum now. First pitch to Allgaier, misses low. It's going to be challenged by Bess. Both teams ran out of challenges last night. None were successful. Both went 0 for 2. And it has been overturned. There's the first successful challenge of this series. Goes to the Coast, who keep the other 2 alive. Good call there by Bess. And now Bautista has an advantage in this count. Here's the 0-1. This one hits on the outside corner on the breaking ball. So an 0-1 count turns into an 0-2 count. It would have been an even count had Bess not challenged. Bautista just a pitch away from getting the Coast bats up and running. 0-2, fouled to the third base side towards Duke Mazian drive into the parking lot. Allgaier, pinch hit in the top of the 8th. Hit into an inning-ending fielder's choice. And that was actually, yes, the top of the 8th, yes, against Zach Volker, who tried to get the 2 innings save there as the next pitch misses outside for the first ball. Allgaier, one of the top batting averages, .326 for the Oakland Ballers. Holding his bat up in front of his face and high. 1-2, a swing and a miss. The breaking ball, Nick Bautista gets his first K and does, in fact, face the minimum. Courtesy of a Jacob Jablonski double play on the 4-3. No score heading into the bottom of the first. We'll be right back on Home Team Network. First hacks for the Long Beach Coast, who will try and get the first run on the board in stark contrast to last night where the Ballers got the early lead. Nick Bautista faced the minimum, and now on the mound for the Oakland Ballers is Charlie Hurley, a former minor leaguer just like Nick Bautista. He gets strike one right away on Eddie Pelk. Charlie Hurley is 6'8", and it really shows on the mound, at least from our angle. Gets another called strike, 78-mile-per-hour off speed there. Quickly 0-2. This is his sixth start on the season. There's a fastball right on the outer black. Eddie Pelk does not like the call, but he's not going to challenge it either. He goes down on 3 pitches with the backwards K. And Emilio Corona stepping up to the plate now. Charlie Hurley, 9.51 ERA in 23 and 2/3 innings pitched. Only one start he gave up this season under 4 runs. So that is attributed to his nearly 10 ERA as a starter with the Oakland Ballers in his first year with the Ballers. First pitch misses low and outside to the center fielder tonight, Emilio Corona. Went to USC and UT Austin, the Texas Longhorns. There is a swing and a miss from Corona. Now evens up the count at 1 apiece. Played with the Myrtle Beach Pelicans last year. Single A for the Chicago Cubs. Another called strike there at 93. His fastball ranges right around 91 to 94. He's got a pretty large arsenal. Slider, sinker, curve, changeup, and a cutter. There is a curveball that Corona gets a piece of. Still a 1-2 count. Corona went 1 for 5 last night, an RBI single in the 6th. Going to try and get up and running today. 1 out and nobody on for the Coast. This one misses outside on the slider. Evens up the count at 2 apiece. Hurley comes from an athletic background. Both parents former Division I athletes. His dad, a former football player. Next pitch misses low, now full count on 6 pitches to Emilio Corona. And his mom was a college basketball player as well. A dual sport athlete in high school, or 2 sports as far as I know. This one slapped towards the right side and foul. Still a 3-2 count. Imagine this, Jesse. Charlie Hurley, 6'8", and he was just about that tall in high school. Played water polo and was a goalkeeper as well. Pretty easy to be a goalkeeper when you
could probably touch the ground.
Yes. There's a pitch that misses outside, and there's the first base runner for the Long Beach Coast on the way of the walk. Gets him aboard, and now Cooper Vest steps up to the plate here. Following Cooper Vest in this lineup will be Matthew Bardowell, who we talked about a lot leading up into this game. Cuba Best behind him, Jacob Jablonski, then Dylan Lena, his first professional at-bat coming up in these next couple of innings. Anthony Mata and Derek LaFerrier, first time in the starting lineup this series. There goes Corona on the first pitch that misses outside, and the throw is offline. Corona slides in head first. That is his 12th stolen base on the season, leading the team. Double positive there as Hurley falls behind in a 1-0 count to Cooper Vest, who started his game last night quite strong, a couple of extra base hits. 1-0 misses inside on the slider. A triple in the first. He was left stranded. And then a double in the fourth. He came around that time. Here's the 2-0. It misses low. Now a 3-0 count. Coming off of a fantastic previous week of 11 RBI. Just one behind Jacob Jablonski, second in the team. He takes the next pitch, and it hits the outside part of the plate. Now a 3-1 count. Middle infielders working up the middle. And now Hurley takes a brief time here. In the outfield for the Ballers, it's going to be Cam Buford in left, Isai Santos in center, TJ McKenzie in right. 3-1, misses inside, a check swing. They defer down to Bradley Murda, but he does not go around. That's 2 straight walks and 2 batters aboard for the Coast. Now Matthew Bardowell up to the plate. Can he carry on that positive trend of the 4 RBI he got last night?
And any high fastballs to Bardowell after yesterday have to be looking scrumptious because he knows he can just absolutely drive anything that's right around the belt area.
He sent one over the center field wall last night. 415 is how far it went. 114 off the bat. First pitch is sent up the middle, but it's not going to be far enough to get out of the outfield or infield. And then O'Sullivan doubles up Corona, who was off the bag on the hit. It's going to be a double play that ends the inning and leaves one stranded. No score heading into the second inning. And we'll be right back on Home Team Network. No score in the first inning. Both pitchers get some help from their infielders on a couple of line-out initiated double plays. One that ended the bottom of the first, and now Nick Bautista back on the mound to face the middle part of this lineup, Kalura, Ibarra, and Buford. Kalura, the catcher tonight, pinch hit in the 7th last night. His average just dipped under the 400 mark, but still leads the team with his batting average. He takes strike one on the fastball, hit that batting average of 398. I should say of qualifying tenure. Connor Smith does have a 571 batting average, but he's only had 7 at-bats, so I'm not going to count it towards the team lead there. Next pitch, a slider that he takes. It's a 1-1 count. Bautista now with the shadows encompassing the mound. Slides in another pitch that hits the strike zone this time. Oh, 1-2 count. Kalura is always a danger, who has made a pretty big impact for this team, especially against the Long Beach Coast. Next pitch. Skips in the coal mine, right in the dirt there for ball 2. Now here's the 2-2, a swing and a miss. There is another strikeout for Bautista. Back-to-back between his first 2 frames. Gets the first out here of the second inning. Now Jeter Ibarra to the plate. Always a fearful sight. Sent one over the fence, over the left field wall, went the opposite way with it for his 17th home run of the season last night against Zach Volker. As the first pitch misses outside for ball 1.
And the shocking thing about that home run wasn't just the situation, but that it was a no-doubter the other way. Eddie Pelk went back to the wall and just looked down after that.
For Volker, in 20 appearances, he's only given up 3. As this one's on a line drive into left field, it'll head towards the wall. Pelk chases it down on the carom, gets it in, and it's going to be a 1-out double for Jeter Ibarra. Finds his way to second and beyond quite often. A lot of extra base hits for him. That is his 13th double on the season. Now 1 out and a runner in scoring position. The first time that the Ballers have had a runner in scoring position. Some exchanging of bats on the other side, and now we'll see Cam Buford's first plate appearance of the night. Started in left field last night, as he does tonight. Holds his bat high above his head. First pitch. Takes fastball low. Bautista behind 1-0. Went 0 for 1 last night. Only 2 plate appearances. We saw him 1-0 hits on the outside corner there. He takes it. Beautiful slider there. Oh, 1-1 count. Got aboard once last night on a walk in that 4th inning rally. Came around to score one of those 4 runs that got the Ballers up 5-0 heading into that bottom of the 4th. Next pitch curves into the bottom part of the strike zone. It's a 1-2 count. He was replaced by T.J. McKenzie in the bottom of the 6th. T.J. McKenzie now in right field, across from him in the outfield tonight. Next pitch misses low. Now a 2-2 count as he tried to get him to chase that 90-mile-per-hour fastball buried. sixth spot in the lineup. He was the 7th last night. Here's the 2-2. Check swing. It's fouled back to the backstop. Cam Buford, Chicago, Illinois native. The American Association, his previous team, the Sioux Falls Canaries. Bautista goes for the 2-2 once more. Cracked bat, and Lena is going to take it across the diamond. Nice pick there for Vest as he gets out number 2 of this inning. That's the first putout of Lena's professional career.
And he does it in an impressive way. He needs to pick that one towards his glove side there. Cooper Vest also making a nice scoop at first on the throw.
Now Paul Winland, a familiar sight, making his return to Blair Field in a different uniform. That being the same uniform that they wore last night, the dark green with the gold across the chest. First pitch he takes outside for ball 1. Now this is interesting because both of these players started with the opposite team to start the season. Bautista with Oakland and then Winland with the Long Beach Coast, now on opposite teams. There's a swing and a miss on the fastball at 91.
And they overlapped slightly as teammates. Lockers were pretty much right across from each other. So Winland and Bautista got to know each other a little bit.
Winland, his second night in a row in the DH spot. This is his 5th game with the Ballers. Takes the next pitch high and inside. Now a 2-1 count. 5 for 15 in his first 4 games in the green and gold, including an RBI double last night. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Cuba Bass, nice job keeping that in front of him. Now a 2-2 count, and Bautista can escape the second and leave one stranded off of his former teammate if he gets one more here. Holds for a second, now the 2-2, a swing and a miss. Bautista, his 3rd K of the game, gets his 2nd clean inning and leaves the first base runner stranded of the game for the Ballers, this time in scoring position. We'll send it to the bottom of the 2nd, no score here at Blair Field, here on Home Team Network. Into the bottom of the 2nd we go. Still no score. We're waiting to see who can charge ahead like a buffalo into the first lead of the game. Cuba Bass will try and start that effort. Be followed by Jacob Jablonski and Dylan Lena, who will take his first professional plate appearance. Cuba Bass now looks on to Charlie Hurley as he fouls this one into near the on-deck circle. Jacob Jablonski tried to reach out with his bat to try and make some backwards contact, but he's got a batting donut on right now. Here's the 0-1. Bends into the back end of the zone, but misses. Now a 1-1 count on the veteran, formerly of Yuba Sutter High Wheelers. This one on the ground up the right field line goes foul. The catcher tonight falls behind into a 1-2 count. Bass, this is his first game behind the dish in 12 games. He's a catcher, a first baseman, and a DH. Those are the three that he circumnavigates. There's a swing and a miss, and the second strikeout for Charlie Hurley. He has started both innings with a strikeout. Gets Bass sent back to the dugout. Jacob Jablonski now will take his first hacks here tonight. Had a couple of doubles last night. Now 13 on the season. Tied with Cooper Vest for the team lead. It's been Jacob Jablonski for most of this season. There's a swing and a miss for strike one. And, you know, Jacob Jablonski, he's always looking to, it seems. If he can get something into the outfield, he just looks like Lightning McQueen out there. The 0-1 fouled into his foot, and it's not the first time that's happened. He has to walk it off. Remember last homestand, he hit one right into his foot. I think that was at the back end of the past 3-game series with the Freebirds, and he looked a little shaken up, but now he's got to shake it off as our organist Jeff Lindman plays the Taylor Swift Classic. Next pitch, a breaking ball below the knees. Gets the first ball. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Now the 1-2. Hard hit into center field. Pasted a good pitch there, and that one sends over the center field wall. Jabs gets a Jablonski to start things off here. 1-0 on the solo shot. That's his 11th on the season. Now tying Corona with the team lead. Coast up and running. 406 off the bat, 104 miles per hour, that exit velocity. And now Dylan Lena take his first professional at bat here. Couple of deep drives for the Long Beach Coast home runs in the past couple of games. Lena takes his first pitch outside for ball one. A product of Long Beach State right here, a very familiar field. In the very same clubhouse he's been for the past 2 seasons. Just graduated from the university out of Carson, California. Not too far from here. Next pitch misses outside. 2-0 count. Starting at third base tonight, giving Patrick Roche some rest. Mason Bryant was put on the IL after he had an early exit from his relief appearance last night. Dylan Lena showed up to the ballpark today for an early morning workout, not expecting that as soon as he got home he would get the call to say, hey, come back. We're actually going to sign you for your first professional appearance. Fouls the next pitch back for his first strike.
I feel like if he knew that was on the line, there would have been a lot more pressure on his shoulders. If he was thinking, hey, this could be my big break. Oh, boy, I better impress these former Major League Baseball players.
He was being mentored by Troy Gloss today, both in the hitting cages and defensively. Next pitch misses low and inside. Now a 3-1 count. I asked him, like, was it nerve-wracking at all? I mean, you didn't expect at that time to be a professional third baseman, but then to have an all-star third baseman sitting behind and watching now as he gets a good drive into center field, but it's going to fall shy. Santos grabs it on the run. That had some nice sound to it. 106 off the bat there. But there's out number 2.
Got a hold of one inside and high, and it looked like he was seeing the fastball well, because the one pitch he swung at before that, he was just underneath, on time, but underneath a fastball by his hands.
Now Anthony Mata will try and carry on this inning where the Coast have gotten the lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second, thanks to Jacob Jablonski. There's a called strike there on Mata. The two middle infielders, Jablonski and Mata, seem to have a lot of synergy. Next fastball misses outside. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Sacrifice bunt for Mata in the bottom of the ninth that set up that Johnny Pappas walk-off. The 0-1 slides off the plate. And now Hurley loses the count. It's 2-1. Derek LaFerrier waiting in the on-deck circle. He's the DH tonight to round out the lineup. Curveball bends into the strike zone, and Mata watches it go by. Now just a strike away with a 2-2 count to number 2. Another curveball, but misses inside. Does not get that full curve, and now on the scoreboard they're showing that USA is up. I think, did they win the game, though? 2-0.
Yeah, we can't quite tell from back here what the time on the match ended up being, but we could hear our friend Jeff Liffman playing the Star-Spangled Banner with that, and I couldn't see the scoreboard at first, so I thought it was just an odd music choice for this point in the game.
Now the 3-2 count misses high, and the inning continues with a walk. Of course, referring to the World Cup that's going on right now.
Yeah, let me check. USA, Bosnia.
Yeah, did Christian Pulisic get
Full time, it's over.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, Yusuf Nurkic, who might have been watching that game, the Utah Jazz member, who is from Bosnia. That's the only Bosnian athlete that comes to mind right off the bat. Derek LaFerrier takes the first pitch off the plate for ball 1. His first appearance this series. Last week, he went 2 for 11, played in 3 of the 6 road games.
You know me, I'm a big Yusuf Nurkic fan.
As am I.
He might be stepping into a big role now with the Utah Jazz. They just traded away Walker Kessler to the LA Lakers. So our friends about half hour away from here are definitely going through a lot of transition right now with LeBron leaving and a new big man appearing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see this new era for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now without LeBron. Next pitch bounces in the dirt outside. A nice pickup there by Kalura to keep it in front of him. 2-0 count. Anthony Mata at first and 2 outs.
You know, I'm thinking about what's going on with the Lakers, the Clippers sending away Kawhi Leonard, but for a heap of prospects and draft picks, the LA Kings saying goodbye to Ante Kopitar, and the Anaheim Ducks losing their captain, Radko Gudas, to the Florida Panthers. World Cup action today. There's a lot of good stuff to watch out for here in LA County in sports, but I still think the Long Beach Coast take first prize.
It really seems like it's compartmentalized for, you know, the Los Angeles side and the Long Beach side. There's a lot of pride here in Long Beach, and I think that the city's kind of taken to the team in their inaugural season. There's strike 1. But, yeah, you talk about a lot of different fan bases. It seems like such a enclosed area in the Los Angeles County. It seems like these sports teams are almost gerrymandered. This one on the ground to the right side. LaFerrier will not have a shot at first base. There is the inning-ending ground out, leaving one stranded. But the Long Beach Coast get ahead, heading into the third on the Jacob Jablonski home run, the Jacob Jablonski classic. Send it to the third, 1-0 Coast here on Home Team Network. We're through 2. 1-0 is your score. The Long Beach Coast over the Oakland Ballers. Long Beach trying to get their 9th straight series victory if they can tonight. Just get it out of the way. Brendan O'Sullivan's going to lead things off against Nick Bautista, and he misses well inside, arm side on that run for the 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Getting O'Sullivan off the plate for a 1-0 count. Went 1 for 3 last night, including a 2-run double in that 4-run rally in the top of the 4th. One of the big contributors in that. This one, a loud hit into left field. Will fall in front of Pelk on a 1-hop. And a leadoff single is how the 3rd inning kicks off. Now the 9 spot due up. TJ McKenzie. We saw TJ in the final 3 innings of the game. He came in defensively in the bottom of the 6th. And then he had 1 plate appearance, a fielder's choice against Volker. But now he's going to try and get something started on the offensive side for the Ballers, who now trail 1-0. There's a called strike 1 on the slider. TJ McKenzie was with the Colorado Springs Sky Sox last year, the travel team that started off as the Northern Colorado Owls under Dimitri Young, now the Red Pocket Mobiles manager. Was sent to Oakland at the back half of the season. Bautista slips off the mound and did not release the pitch. It's going to be a balk. He just could not find his footing there. He's going to try and collect himself here. No pitch, so it's still an 0-1 count, but TJ McKenzie with the bright yellow batting gloves. Here is the 1-1 count. Shows bunt. He does not pull back, though. It's going to be strike 2. But like I was saying, he was with that travel team, was sent to Oakland at the back half of the season. Dimitri wanted him to get a ring. He did. And now he's been re-signed with Aaron Miles, who really took a liking to him at that back half of the season. This one off the end of his bat, fouled into the screen down the right field side. Still 0-2. Nobody out here in the top of the 3rd. Now a runner in scoring position for the 2nd time for the Ballers. Jablonski staying close to the Keystone bag. Bautista looks back at second before firing the 0-2 once more. There's a swing and a miss. Tremaine Cobb nods and accepts out number 1. That is strikeout number 4 of this evening by Nick Bautista. His season high, and for the team, the season high is 9 strikeouts in a game. That was the inaugural Regulators night just last month. Crazy to think we're already here in the month of July. 2 more full months to go this season, including this month. Back to the top of the lineup, it's Tremaine Cobb. Takes strike 1 on the bender. Bautista comes set, right around the stomach. Looks at O'Sullivan. There's a swing and a miss. Foul tip, I believe, actually, but it still counts as a strike all the same. 0-2 now. Leads the league in stolen bases. 19 on the season. He's one to try and keep off the base paths. He got a leadoff single in the top of the 1st. Here's the 0-2. He gets this one off the end of his bat. Up the first base line, Cooper Vest. Gloved in fair territory. I'm just going to have to wait here. Yes, in fair territory. He has fooled us once before. This time for the 3 unassisted and out number 2. Now Isai Santos. With 2 outs, that 3 unassisted also moves O'Sullivan to 3rd. The furthest along a Baller runner has gotten around the base paths tonight, early in this game. Top of the third as this one's hammered on a line drive into center field, and Corona pauses for a second. He does not make an attempt there. It's going to be an RBI single, and now a tie ball game for the Ballers. Isai Santos, his first ribby of this series. Also his 30th RBI on the season. On 2 outs. Brings up Jake Allgaier now with a runner at first. Just a nice simple line drive up the middle. And there's a throw to first, gets him. Nick Bautista with a sneaky move there. Ends the inning before he throws a pitch to Allgaier. He'll start the 4th inning, but before that, we'll send it to the bottom of the 3rd. It's a tie contest, 1-1 after the RBI single by Isai Santos. We'll be right back on Home Team Network. Nick Bautista does not get the shutdown inning, but ends the inning with a nice pickoff move to catch Isai Santos sleeping after he gets the RBI single that ties up the ballgame. 1-1 heading into the bottom of the 3rd, and back to the top of the lineup we go with Eddie Pelk. Joey Miller, Jesse Cook here in the booth. Eddie Pelk struck out looking his first time up against the 6'8" starter, Charlie Hurley, who misses high and outside with a curveball that did not curve. Slipped out of his hands there for ball 1. This one into left field. Eddie Pelk is going to reach and lead things off here in the 3rd with a single. Went hitless yesterday, and now in his 38 games played, he's reached all 38 games, but only in 7 of those games, including last night, has he not had a hit. Coming into this game, 81% of his games he has had a hit in, playing every single one of these initial 38 games. How incredible is that?
Unreal consistency for Eddie Pelk.
That's why he remains in the top spot of the lineup. Now this one sent into right field, just over the glove of McKenzie. Corona heads to second, going first to third is Pelk. And now 2 in scoring position on back-to-back pitches, back-to-back hits. Kick things off in the bottom of the 3rd. Emilio Corona, before I can even announce his name, gets a double the other way. The 2nd extra base hit of the night. Cooper Vest, no stranger to extra base hits in this series. 2 last night. Now has a chance to add a couple more ribbies. Vest walked his first time against Hurley. First pitch misses outside on the fastball. 1-0 No count. Cooper Vest trailing Jacob Jablonski in the RBI category, both some of the top RBI leaders of the Pioneer League. There's a beautiful off-speed that completely fools Vest. He was looking for something faster there. Swings through that pitch. It's a 1-1 count. Vest steps out of the box for a second to reevaluate. Now looks on to Hurley taking his time, then a quick throw from the stretch, misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cooper Vest comes into the game with 43 RBI, now 2 behind Jacob Jablonski, who got the initial run for the Long Beach Coast just last inning on the home run. Hurley, the 2-1, misses outside. Now a hitter's count. Had a 3-1 count before Cooper Vest got aboard on the base on balls. One of the 3 instances that has happened off of Hurley tonight. It's going to be the 4th now, as he, I believe, gets hit by the pitch.
That one bounced inside, and I think it bounced before it got him, but it still hit him.
Well, it's going to add to his hit by pitch total as he creeps closer to that record. Cooper Vest, a beanbag of a batsman, that being his 17th hit by pitch of the season. He leads the league. Matthew Bardwell now has the bases juiced. And quite a scary sight if you're Aaron Miles in that dugout there, as he already sent an absolute nuke over the center field wall last night with 4 ribbies. He could get 4 more with just 1 swing here. Takes strike 1. Nobody out, and bases jammed here. Bardwell looks on. Check swing. Does not go around, says Bud Dunklin. Even 1-1 count now. Bardwell has 1 grand slam on the season of his initial 8. The 1-1 misses inside. He gets ahead of the count here. On the first pitch of his last plate appearance, he hit into a double play, an inning-ending double play on a line drive into the glove of the second baseman, O'Sullivan. This one a breaking ball he's out in front of, gets a piece of it, however. Now a 2-2 count. Bardwell, a Cal State Fullerton product. Next pitch, plunks him right in the back, and it gets in a run. The Coast take their second lead of the game the painful way. Back-to-back hit by pitches with bases loaded. Still going to count for an RBI all the same for Matthew Bardwell. That's his 40th on the season. Brings up Cuba Bess, still with the bases packed.
And now with the lead, you get a little bit of freedom if you're Bess. It's not so precarious of a moment for you where if you blow it, you really let your team down. No, he can swing freely here. Now, pitching coach Jim Diedrich talking to his arm, who I think in a situation like this, the pressure also decreases. You've already given up the lead. What more do you really have to lose? Just go out there and pitch.
And Cuba Bass, it's always tough, and I'm sure, Jesse, you have something to say about this, to come up to the plate as a power hitter, but, he's not often behind the plate these days. Like I mentioned, it's been 12 games since the last time he was behind the dish. Now he finds himself in a prime moment with nobody out, being asked of a big moment here at the plate. I know his knees are probably hurting.
Well, you feel a little bit more comfortable when you're back behind the plate, but also, Cuba and I talked earlier this season about the injuries you sustain as a catcher. He hasn't been a catcher for a while. This is probably the healthiest he's felt in a while.
This one's sent on the ground. Backhand by Cobb. Gets it to O'Sullivan at second, then on to first. Not in time, a fielder's choice. Cashes in a run. Corona comes in to score. Now 3-1 Long Beach. RBI on that fielder's choice for Cuba Bass.
And that was a swing there where when Cuba Bass hits the ball hard, you get these crisp sounds that just echo throughout the ballpark, and there was good contact. It looked like he was actively trying to beat the shift, and he did make the shortstop Cobb range back over towards his normal spot, and that probably created the extra time for him to get to first.
So now runners at the corners. Cooper Vest advances to third on the distraction. Now Jacob Jablonski takes strike one. Sent a ball over the fence for his 11th on the season. Has had 3 home runs in his past week and a half now. Takes the next pitch low on the fastball. 1-1 count. Steps out of the batter's box. Readjusts his batting gloves. Chance just to keep rolling along here. This one fouled back to the on-deck circle, right around where Dylan Lena stands. 1-2 count now, as Hurley finally gets his first out, by the way, after allowing the first 4 aboard in a row. A couple of hits, a couple of hit by pitches is how this bottom of the third kicked off. This one right down the third baseline, sharp hit there, but did not find the fair side of the chalk. Sliced through that like a samurai, but still a 1-2 count. There goes Best towards second on a pitch that misses outside. He slides in safely. Now 2 in scoring position and a 2-2 count for Jacob Jablonski. For Cuba Best, that is his 2nd stolen base of the season. Those knees are looking fine right now, it looked like, on that stolen base.
Great work to just skedaddle off of first there. Best, someone who really isn't known for the steal, but we know has the speed. I believe that's, what, 4 on the year now?
Stolen bases?
That's right.
This one absolutely sent over the Jared Weaver bullpen for the 2nd Jablonski of the night. A no-doubter. Jablonski took his time witnessing that beauty there. Cashes in 3 more on the 2nd bomb of his afternoon. Now the team leader with 12. Make it 6-1 Long Beach. Jablonski, have yourself a night, my friend. He is hype.
And he should be. He's the first player in the history of the Long Beach Coast to hit multiple home runs at Blair Field. Nobody's done that in a single game yet.
A historic night for Jablonski, and 4 home runs in his past 2 weeks to catch up with Bass and Corona. It really seemed like it was a cat and mouse race between those two. Dylan Lena now takes the first pitch low for ball 1. You love to see it. Jablonski now taking the charge here for the Coast. There's a hard swing and a miss for Lena. Still 1 out. 1-1, hits at the knees. And Hurley just a pitch away from getting out number 2 here. You never want to give up, 4 in an inning or 5 in an inning. This one down towards the third baseman, Allgaier, who has to come over to his left, gets the out at first base. What I was getting at there, you never want to give up 5 in an inning, but now with the bases clear, now with 2 outs, Hurley can focus his attention on Anthony Mata to try and limit any more damage. Continuing the trend for Hurley, this being his 6th start. 5 of his 6 starts, he has given up more than 4 runs earned. And we're just here in the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch misses low and outside on the breaking ball to Anthony Mata. 1-0 count. 1-0 on the ground and fouled down the third baseline. 5-run lead heading into the fourth. Pretty similar sight to what we saw for the Ballers, who had a 5-0 lead heading into the bottom of the fourth. Now this one fouled the other side into just above the seats, so no souvenir, no immediate souvenir there. Hits the top of the awning and rolls onto the concourse. Hurley a pitch away from escaping this nightmare inning for him. Here's the 1-2. Misses outside. Tried to get him to chase on that off speed. Mata walked on a full count his first time facing Hurley. There's a swing and a miss. Mata goes down on the third strikeout of the night for Hurley. But the damage is done. 5 runs played for the Long Beach Coast, including another Jacob Jabomski. 2 home runs tonight so far. Can he continue that trend? We'll see. Heading into the next 3, it'll be Jesse Cook to take you through those. When we come back, 6-1 is your score. Long Beach Coast in the favored.
Top of the fourth inning on the docket at Blair Field with a 6-1 Long Beach Coast lead. Nick Bautista and the Coast defense trying to protect that. The right-hander dealing to Jake Allgaier, Jaden Kalura, and Jeter Ibarra. 3, 4, and 5 in the Oakland order. Jesse Cook with you next to Nina Corral. First pitch from the righty to the lefty. Called a strike on the fastball, low and away. Nina, Nick Bautista might be one of the friendliest guys in the Pioneer League.
I think he's one of the only guys I haven't spoken to yet.
Really?
But I'm so excited to learn more about him, and the fact that you say that he's friendly, I'm excited to get to know him more throughout the season.
Oh, yeah. Well, forces a swing and a miss there. He'll be mid-stretch. He'll be mid-warming up, and when he sees somebody he knows, he always says hi. He stops what he's doing for it, and he's one of a bunch of guys who are from this area of California. Bautista from Monterey Park in L.A., and the 24-year-old is working with a 5-run lead right now. He's only allowed 4 hits across the first 2 innings. He's got a 0-2 count for Allgaier. He sets up, kicks up high. Allgaier swings and fouls that one off to the back netting. Jake Allgaier, we saw him a little bit last night for Oakland. He came in as a pinch hitter and stayed in at third base, but today getting the start. He's played in every game for Oakland. The Coast have experienced some good journeymen. Eddie Pelk out in left field has not skipped a beat. The leadoff man at every game so far in the inaugural season. Next pitch, the 0-2 bounces. What a joy it's been watching Eddie Pelk range out in left field and also work his way on base every game.
Yesterday was his birthday, and he just dominated, I think. Honestly, he always just comes out and performs. He is always so locked in, and he is such a crucial bat for the Coast.
1-2 pitch, swung on and hit it Eddie Pelk's way, he races in, and that's in front of him in left field down the line. Allgaier rounding first, holds up there. So there's one on with nobody out to begin the top of the fourth inning. 6-1 Long Beach, your score. Bautista settling in there again. Eddie turning 25 yesterday, like you mentioned, Nina.
Happy birthday, Eddie Pelk.
Well, now he gets to watch in from left field as Jaden Kalura takes some hacks. He struck out swinging last time up. Kalura batting on the left side, swinging that two-piece green barrel and black neck bat. Runner on first. Bautista sets up. Crouches low and deals. Backdoor curveball misses low and outside. Yesterday, you got to talk with Johnny Pappas after the sacrifice fly that won the Coast the ball game, and you narrowly avoided the Gatorade shower.
I was so happy about that, honestly, but I was so happy for him to get that ice bath Gatorade shower, as you could say, because that is something that he told me that he has been wanting and that he has been working for. And it's just such a fun moment for those players when they go out and perform like they did.
Next pitch. Fastball for a strike, low and inside. It's a 2-1 count. You've never gotten to enjoy being the reporter for one of those before, have you?
I've never, but that was honestly on my bucket list as a journalist, because I grew up watching like Alex Curry and Erica Weston always like avoiding the ice bath or like getting iced baths, with as well as Trisha Whittaker, and that has always honestly been on my bucket list. And yesterday I could check that off as a journalist, which was awesome.
You know, I remember when I was in the Frontier League with the Florence Yalls, we had a moment like that. I think we were talking about this after the game yesterday. Bautista sets up for his 3-1. Here it is. Swung on rope down the right field line and foul. And I was interviewing Brian Fuentes of the Florence Yalls after a walk-off. I don't remember what type of hit it was. I think it was just a single or a double. And I see out of the corner of my eye from the third base dugout, one of the catchers on the team, Sergio Gutierrez, just start with this beeline, holding a cooler full of ice water. I'm watching that. It's in the corner of my eye. I just have a glimpse of him in my peripheral vision. Then there's great video of me basically diving out of the way. I backpedal as fast as I could. Full count pitch. Misses inside, but hits Kalura on the front foot. So Bautista now with nobody out has runners on first and second in the top of the fourth inning. 6-1 Coast, still your score.
Maybe you manifested that yesterday, Joey, because I feel like this was a pregame talk. And then Papa's was also telling me how he had to fish ice cubes. Ice cubes out of his pants.
Oh, my goodness.
He was freezing afterwards, as I could imagine, as the guys absolutely ripped off his jersey and apparently his undershirt as well.
Jeez.
His favorite undershirt. So.
Oh, that's too bad. I know that the jersey has buttons. The undershirt, that thing's toast now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Here comes pitching coach Jerome Williams to talk to Bautista. And I was never good enough at sports to qualify for the ice bath. I think maybe in college intramural kickball or something, there may have been a dramatic hit for me. But I can't imagine the bittersweet, or sour and sweet, I should say, moment that is where you know you just did something great. You're happy everyone's celebrating, but oh my goodness, that has to be the coldest thing on earth.
Oh, I'm so sure it is. And last night was chilly as well, because the winds were picking up, because, you know, the coastal breeze.
It was like 65 degrees without the wind, and then rolling in got a little colder. Jeter Ibarra was ice cold last night for Oakland with the game-tying home run. He saddles up here. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Top of the fourth inning. But Oakland still working with a 5-run deficit. Bautista, the former baller, comes set. First base side. Here he goes. Misses up high, and that one's by Cuba Bassett. Pops off his mitt for a passed ball. Both runners advance. Oakland threatening with nobody out. This is sort of how yesterday's game went, just on the flip side, where Oakland jumped out to an early lead, scoring 1 run in the first inning and then 4 more in the fourth before Long Beach came back. Long Beach today starting off with a run in the second and 5 in the third. Oakland trying to etch its way back into the game now. 1-0 pitch.
I think it's very evident because they are our rivals. And just how close the games have been, I think the guys are really, on both ends, have been fighting for that win, fighting for the victory. The two new teams.
Yeah, and Oakland's got a target on its back, winning the championship last year. 2-0 count. Bautista settles in, rears back, swing and a miss. Ibarra maybe going for the fences there, but dropping down to a 2-1 count now. Oakland winning the championship in its second season. Yuba Sutter, when it was the YOLO High Wheelers 2 years ago, won the championship. That was its inaugural season. Now Long Beach has a chance for some of the same mojo, coming up on clinching a playoff spot. 2-1, swing and a foul tip, and that catches Best in an unprotected area. He's keeled over and just taken a moment, but while Cuba deals with that, and Steve Tubner and the training staff heads out there to check on him, just recapping how the Pioneer League postseason picture works. Cuba Best knows that well. It's his fourth season in the PBL. If you're one of the top two teams at the end of the first half, top two teams at the end of the second half, you make the playoffs. If there's overlap between the first and second half winners, you end up going for whoever has the next best overall record. Now, Best looks to be okay, sends athletic trainer Steve Tubner back to the dugout. And Nina, the magic number for the Coast to clinch a playoff spot is 6. This is game 38, so there's 10 more after today in the first half. Anytime the magic number is lower than the number of games you have left, that's a pretty good sign.
I think these guys have always put it out on the field. Their chemistry is so evident in how they play and how they speak about one another during interviews. And our coaching staff is just so stacked with Troy Percival, Troy Gloss, and Jerome Williams. I can only see this team going so far.
And that's going to be cool for you because you're a lifelong Angels fan, aren't you?
Oh my goodness. When I was first applying for the Coast, of course, like every good job applicant, they would do their research on the organization that they work for. And I saw Troy Gloss and Troy Percival and Jerome Williams. And of course, I was like,
oh, yeah.
They're going to be the coaches. I need this job.
It's pretty cool to have that celebrity influence, especially in a place like L.A. County here in Long Beach. It's a full count for Jeter Ibarra. Runners on second and third. Nobody out. Top of the fourth inning. Coast leading the Bees 6-1. Time called at home plate by Cuba Bess. That's home plate umpire Ryan Blayberg signaling. There is no crew chief present for today's game as Brandon Hastings is out for the evening, replaced at third base by Bradley Murda. First base umpire still Bud Dunklin. I believe Ryan Blayberg is the de facto second-in-command crew chief. So he's got final say on most things. Bautista's payoff pitch. Swing and a dribbler, foul to the first base side once again. Ibarra doing a good job of protecting the plate. But moving back to that coaching staff, Jerome Williams, journeyman, who appeared on a bunch of teams in Major League Baseball, including the Angels, also had a stint in the middle of all of that in the Golden League here in California with the Long Beach Armada, one of the progenitors of the Coast. But after that, Troy Gloss, Troy Percival, a couple of legends. Highlight kick, check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, says third base umpire Bradley Murda. Ibarra goes down swinging.
Growing up, my dad would always tell us, I wasn't born yet, but my brother was 1. My dad would always talk about the World Series, how Troy Percival threw the final out, and he was holding my brother, and he nearly dropped my brother out of excitement because my dad is a lifelong, diehard Angels fan.
Love it. Here's Cam Buford batting on the right side. Out of the stretch, swinging a line shot up the middle. That brings home Allgaier. Calora right behind him gets the stop sign. Relay to the infield, cut off by Cooper Vest, the first baseman tracking over to the pitching rubber. So it's 6-2 Coast. One away in the top of the fourth inning. Men on the corners now after Cam Buford hacks at the first pitch for an ambush RBI single. I wonder what Troy Gloss, Coast hitting coach, would have to say about that swing. Very compact, quick to the baseball. It sets up Paul Winland, who spent a lot of time training with Troy Gloss. Starting the year here in Long Beach. First pitch from the righty to the lefty. Breaking ball over the shoelaces for a 1-0 count. Winland out of Beaufort, South Carolina. Played his college ball at Mizzou. White batting gloves. He lays the black bat on his back shoulder. Bautista out of the stretch again. This one bounced to second. Jacob Jablonski waiting. Shuffles to second for one. The turn to first. You bet. 4-6-3. TaylorMade. We move on to the bottom of the fourth inning. Coach still ahead by 4 with 9-1-2 due up. And Derek LaFerrier, Eddie Pelk, and Emilio Corona. With Nina Corral, I'm Jesse Cook. We'll see you after a quick break with Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network. Rolling back to it at Blair Field for the bottom of the fourth inning with a 6-2 Long Beach lead over the Oakland Ballers. The Coast coming up to bat here. 9-1-2 due up, and Derek LaFerrier, Eddie Pelk, and Emilio Corona against the 6'8" right-hander Charlie Hurley. LaFerrier bending in 0 for 1 so far, grounding out to second his first time up. That ended the second inning. Jesse Cook with you next to Joey Miller. First pitch out of the stretch. Fastball called a strike. Low and inside to LaFerrier. This is the first game in which we're seeing Derek play this series. Hurley out of the stretch again. Swing and a miss. LaFerrier chasing the heater high and away. And the Tahoe City native last week in Modesto struggled during the back half of that week in the weekend series with the Roadsters, going 1 for 7. But he did score a run. He reached 3 times as well with that hit, a walk, and a hit by pitch. 0-2 pitch, sails up high to make it a 1-2 count. Hurley settles again, kicks up high. Swinging a dribbler towards third. Allgaier charging, but that's foul. LaFerrier keeps himself alive. We know that Derek got the call very abruptly to join the Coast while working in his parents' pizza shop in Tahoe City. But over the last few weeks since he made his professional debut, scoring a crucial run in a Sunday matinee win, he settled in as a regular. Next pitch, slider that misses low and outside at 84 miles per hour. 2-2 count for LaFerrier. So far this season, walks in batting just a couple hairs under 400 at a .395 batting average. Hurley's 2-2. Bounces the fastball. Moves the count to full. Joey, this game feels a lot like it did yesterday, but just on the flip side. We talked about it with Nina Corral during the last half inning, and you mentioned it earlier, where yesterday Oakland jumped out to an early lead that was a 5-run cushion. Coast doing some of the same. Next pitch to LaFerrier. He swings and pops this one up. Shallow right field, chasing in TJ McKenzie, and he makes the scooping catch down the line. One away in the bottom of the fourth inning. Top of the order coming up, and Eddie Pelk. Nobody on. 6-2 Coast. Long Beach had a 5-run lead until Oakland scratched one across on an RBI knock from Cam Buford in the top half of this frame. And it really does feel like copy and paste.
Yeah, and the difference from last night is that Nathan Hemmerling was able to get a shutdown inning immediately.
First pitch to Eddie Pell sails into the back netting. Not sure what happened there for Hurley. He just lost control of his pitch very early.
Yeah, but the other side of the coin is now this is 3 straight failed attempts at a shutdown inning, 4 straight half innings where a run has plated, and now it's just about who can get the first 0 on the board.
1-0. Fastball for a strike at the belt, 1-1 count. This game began with the teams trading unconventionally scoreless innings, both turning pop out or line out double plays. 1-1 pitch, he swings and bounces that one to second. O'Sullivan waiting, sidearms to first, and they were very quickly 2 away in the top of the 4th inning. Coast up by 4. Bottom of the 4th inning, that is. Emilio Corona has yet to be retired so far in this one. Doubling in the 3rd inning, walking his way aboard in the 1st and stealing 2nd. Team leader in swipe bags with 12. Corona started the game first in home runs on the team. First pitch, a curveball that lands for a strike. But Jacob Jablonski has very quickly pushed him back into second. Jablonski was behind him with 10 to Corona's 11. Jablonski 2 home runs today. Next pitch to Corona. He watches the fastball miss low and outside.
He was actually behind 8-11 after Corona got an early home run last Tuesday, and then Jablonski is just making a charge over him.
1-1. He swings and swats that one to the backstop. 1-2 count. It took a long time for that baseball to fall in the last Jablonski home run. Probably could have said anti-disestablishmentarianism or pneumonoultramicroscopic silicovolcanic in the time it took for that ball to fall. Next pitch misses low and outside. 2-2 count. Just the entire time that baseball was in the air, I was just trying to think to myself, what could you do in the time that it took for that baseball to leave the yard? 2-2. Fastball misses high and outside. Well, you could definitely go to a full count. It was a long home run. This is a long plate appearance for Emilio, battling his way to a 3-2 situation. Hurley kicks up high again. Fastball dribbled out towards short. Tremaine Cobb shuffles to it, sidearms to first and gets him. The Coast are retired 1-2-3 for the first time this game. When we come back for the 5th inning, we've got the 8-9-1 batters due up for Oakland and O'Sullivan, McKenzie, and Cobb. And we've also got your Cook quiz. You don't want to miss it with Coast Baseball returning with a 6-2 lead on the Home Team Network. Back at it at Blair Field for the top of the 5th inning. The Coast protecting with a 6-2 lead. Nick Bautista back on the bump facing the 8-9-1 segment of the Oakland lineup, and Brendan O'Sullivan, TJ McKenzie, and Tremaine Cobb. Righty-righty affair with O'Sullivan, who tagged him for a single to left his first time up. Bautista kicks up high. First pitch fastball backs him way off the plate. Chin music working him out of the box. A 1-0 count there on the 88-mile-per-hour heater. And we're thinking about flamethrowers for today's Cook quiz. July 4th is coming up. That's the theme for most of this week. 1-0. Misses low and outside. There are 2 pitchers in Major League history who recorded their 3,000th strikeout on Independence Day. So we're wondering, who are they? Bautista sets up again. Rears back and fires. Fastball right down 2nd Street for strike 1.
Well, I think of the leading 4 right away. Steve Carlton, Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, and
Randy Johnson.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
2-1, swinging a pop fly. Second base side. Jacob Jablonski creeping onto the early outfield grass makes the two-handed grab. One away to kick off the top of the 5th inning. That brings up TJ McKenzie. He struck out on 4 pitches last time up. Bautista went right at him. McKenzie had to foul off a 2-strike pitch, but the right-hander on the bump still won the battle. And I did say flamethrower at the beginning. I do recognize that there are pitchers with 3,000 strikeouts who did not do so by ticking triple digits. So I will apologize for that. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss, chasing the slider. 0-1 count. I'm not going to confirm nor deny if that is a hint to these pitchers, but I do realize that that could be overly specific for the relatively narrow as it is pool of options. 0-1. Chases again. The slider dancing downstairs. Nick Bautista, a former Oakland Baller at the beginning of this year, making TJ McKenzie work. Bautista settles in again. The Monterey Park native staring down the plate while McKenzie took a moment outside the box. Bautista, a statue, didn't move. 0-2 count. Here it is again. This time McKenzie lays off. Breaking ball up by the shoulders. It's a 1-2 count. And I can very easily tell you that both of these pitchers for the Cook quiz are in the Hall of Fame. Neither one is active any longer. From the stretch again, swing and a miss. Slider, 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 slider. That works out to the 4-pitch strikeout for out number 2 here in the top of the 5th inning. Coast ahead by 4. Top of the order on the way for Oakland and Tremaine Cobb. He singled his way aboard in the first, but grounded out to first in the 3rd inning. Right-hander versus right-hander. Bautista sets on the first base side, whirls home, swing and a line shot up the middle into center field. Cobb 2 for 3, and Oakland keeps this inning alive with a runner on first and 2 away. Still trying to chip into that 4-run deficit. Oakland sends up Isai Santos now. He's 1 for 2. Bringing in the first run of the game for the Ballers back in the 3rd inning, an RBI single, although that was moments before he suffered a pickoff from Bautista at first base to end that inning. Out of the stretch. Heater above the belt, it's a 1-0 count. And Joey, you already mentioned the big 4. I think they're 1 through 4 all time in total strikeouts. Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, Steve Carlton, and I'm blanking on who the 4th one you said was. Next pitch misses up high. 2-0 count.
Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens, of course. I will tell you it is not him because he is not in the Hall of Fame.
True. I think, is he the only pitcher with above 3,000 strikeouts and not in the Hall of Fame?
Short of players who are still active, I believe so. Next pitch, a fastball that misses low and away, and Santos hasn't needed to lift the bat off his shoulder. It's a 3-0 count. I do bring this up because Max Scherzer is approaching 3,000 innings, and he's a member of the 3,000 strikeout club, so it felt fitting. 3-0. Fastball up high. Santos is aboard on a 4-pitch walk, and that brings up Jake Allgaier, who singled last time up to lead off the 4th inning. Cuba Bess takes a moment to talk with his pitcher. We're mentioning a lot of great names for someone like Nick Bautista to try and emulate. Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, Steve Carlton, Max Scherzer, of course.
Yeah, for Nick Bautista, that's only his 10th walk that he's issued on the season compared to now 24 strikeouts, so a rare sight there.
That's his 10th walk as a member of the Coast.
Yes, to clarify.
But 16th total on the season, starting the year with the Ballers. Strikeout totals. He entered this game with 29 for Long Beach, and that's 35 on the year. Bautista kicks high. Misses downstairs. It's underneath Best to the backstop for his second passed ball. Both runners move up. Second and third for Oakland. The tying run is on deck. It's the top of the 5th inning, 2 away. 6-2 Long Beach your score. Righty pitching to the switch-hitting Allgaier, who's batting as a lefty. Bautista up to 41 total strikeouts on the season. Here he goes again. That's up high, and Bess looking a little uncomfortable. Maybe caught off guard by that pitch. Jerked his arm around to find the baseball while falling down. It's been a minute since he's played catcher. I think the last time was over a week and a half ago. We'll have to double check on that. 2-0 from the stretch in the dirt, and Bess sent careening off to his right for that one. Throws the baseball aside while home plate umpire Ryan Blaberg deals Bautista a new one. That's 7 straight pitches out of the zone after surrendering that first pitch single to Tremaine Cobb. Bautista, 35 strikeouts with the Coast, including his 6 so far this evening. And like we just talked about, 41 in total on the year. He leans in for the signal. Now resets, tan glove at the belt. Bautista fires again, and that's ball 4 again. Base is loaded for Oakland. Tying run at the plate, and Jaden Kalura. Manager Troy Percival walks off the front step of the dugout and takes a very slow trot out there. There is action in the Coast bullpen. Looks like Jake Dixon has begun to loosen up, the left-hander. And forget loosening up, he is headed out there. So Nick Bautista's day is done with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning and a 6-2 cushion. But Dixon thrown into the fire with the bases loaded with Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network. New pitcher in the game for the Coast with a sticky situation. Jake Dixon, the left-hander, relieving Nick Bautista after 4 2/3 innings. So they're 2-away in the top of the 5th inning, 6-2 Coast, but the Ballers have the bases loaded for Jaden Kalura. Dixon settles in, the lanky left-hander stares down Kalura and fires sidearm. First pitch, fastball for a strike. Kalura has slugged 4 home runs this season, playing in just about 5/6 of Oakland's games. At the back of the lefty box, Dixon from the stretch shanks his slider into the righty box. It's a 1-1 count. Dixon went for an inning and 2/3 win at Yuba Sutter on June 27th. That's 5 days ago, and it was a perfect frame there, recording a strikeout on the way. He kicks up high, swinging a dribbler towards first. Cooper Vest waiting down the line, fields at the waist, and jogs onto the bag. Oakland threatens, but strands the Ducks on the pond. We move on to the second half of this game, bottom of the 5th inning, with Cooper Vest leading off, followed by Matthew Bardowell and Cuba Best when we return with Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network. Bottom of the 5th inning, rolling at you from Long Beach, California, with a 6-2 Coast lead underneath some lavender skies. Long Beach trying to tag a few baseballs more into that oncoming night. Jacob Jablonski's hit a couple home runs to help elevate the Coast to this lead. He's due up 4th. Before him, it's Cooper Vest, Matthew Bardowell, and Cuba Best against the 6'8" right-hander Charlie Hurley. Vest digging in on the left side. He's reached twice. First pitch, watches a curveball by the ankles for ball 1. The BYU product walking in the first and then making his way aboard on yet another hit by pitch in the 3rd inning. He leads the Pioneer League 1-0. Inside and low for a strike on the fastball. Vest has been hit with the pitch 17 times this season. 1-1 count. Hurley from the stretch. Vest watches the next one by the knees for ball 2. I remember after a road series where Coop had been hit by 3 pitches, I asked him, what are you saying to these guys? Are you aggravating the pitchers? He said, what? Me? No, come on. He swings and misses at the next one, a fastball by his shoulders. It's a 2-2 count. Gave me a wink after that one, too. So I think there's a little bit of chatter.
Well, when you're a first baseman, you talk to a lot of these batters.
Of course. 2-2 pitch. Tied up inside and low on the fastball for strike 3. Hurley sits down the leadoff man for the 4th time today out of these now 5 innings. Matthew Bardowell due up here. Also reached as a hit batsman on his most recent trip to the plate. That gave the Coast the lead. It was 1-1. Bases were loaded. Didn't need to lean into it. Hit him square in the back. 0 for 1 after that. First pitch, fastball underneath the hands. It's a 1-0 count. We're still playing the Cook Quiz. We're wondering which two Hall of Fame pitchers recorded their 3,000th strikeout on July 4th. Next pitch, a fastball that misses downstairs for a 2-0 count. Hurley settles in, glances towards his dugout, now raises the leg up high and rides even higher inside, hitting Bardwell. It's the second time in as many plate appearances over the last couple innings that he's reaching with an HBP. 1 on, 1 away, 6-2 Coast, bottom 5. Cuba Bess taking a turn here on the left side. Brought home a run on a fielder's choice last time up. Then he turned on the Jets. Cuba Bess on the bases, stole second, sort of an ambush play there. We really don't see him try very often, but he has yet to be retired this season, going 2 for 2. Hurley, low leg kick, swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Now, I will tell you that one of these pitchers accomplished this feat in 1984. Another did it in 1980. 0-1. Swinging a high fly ball, left center field, tracking back. Buford looking at the fence, and he can keep on watching. Cuba Bess goes yard, and it's 8-2 Long Beach. An ambush home run that just kept on rising. Bess with a 104-mile-per-hour exit velocity powers that one just about 390 feet for his 11th home run on the season.
Maybe feeling like he was falling behind a little bit. Jablonski and Corona leapfrogging over him. He was in the lead for the first initial 4 weeks or so. Now he's back in the conversation.
Jacob Jablonski comes up, maybe with a chance to do more of the same. If he does that, he sets a Coast record for homers in a ball game. He's 2 for 2 with 2 dingers. First pitch, the lefty swings and bats that one out to second between the legs of O'Sullivan, who never recovers on the error. Brendan O'Sullivan caught an admittedly bad hop as that one bounced up with some spin towards his waist while he tried to jut his glove back up. Just found the gap. Here comes Dylan Lena, the Long Beach State product, searching for his first professional hit, starting off his debut 0 for 2. Now back to the Cook Quiz. One of these pitchers, the one in 1984, did so against the Rangers. Larry Parrish was the batter. The other pitcher did it against the Reds, Cesar Geronimo. Pause on the field as a stray baseball from the Oakland bullpen made its way out onto the grass. So with 3 hit batsmen already, be prepared to duck with who's ever warming up out there that got the baseball onto the field. It's a deep gap in the Steve Traxel bullpen. Hurley sets again. Runner goes for second. Pitch is low. Jablonski dives without a throw. Jacob Jablonski steals second base. Third swipe of the game for the Long Beach Coast. Jablonski now 2 for 2 on the year.
It's so interesting, too, because I had a conversation with him in the locker room about the stolen bases before this game, and I'll tell you about that in just a sec.
1-0 to Lena. He tags that one foul, where third base coach and hitting coach Troy Gloss barehands it.
You know, I said, Jabs, really seems like the stolen base part of the game is not prevalent, as prevalent as it should be with how fast some of you guys are. And he said, oh, we'll swipe some bags tonight, don't you worry. Look at that. He's got one right there.
Long Beach is not known for its speed on the bases per se. The Coast have only stolen 43 bases. That's third lowest in the Pioneer League, whereas Oakland, on the other hand, is relatively in the same boat with 45 steals. That's fourth lowest. 1-1 count. Hurley from the stretch, swinging a pop fly over the back netting. It's a 1-2 count.
And about half of those stolen bases are just 2 players, Tremaine Cobb and TJ McKenzie. 29 of those stolen bases, to be exact.
Now, Joey, with the Cook quiz, I will tell you both of these pitchers are journeyman Hall of Famers who appeared for a few different teams.
I have an idea of who one of them is.
1-2, misses low and outside. 2-2 count. Of course, both Hall of Famers, both in the 3,000 strikeout club. Both have been retired for a few decades by this point, if they were accomplishing this feat in the 80s. Two from the stretch, high and inside, and that gets him. Well, welcome to a professional base path, Dylan Lena. For the first time, he's aboard, and it's the fourth instance where a Coast batter has been hit with the pitch in this game. Here comes Aaron Miles, and there goes Charlie Hurley. 8-2 Long Beach your score. Runners on first and second with one out in the bottom of the fifth inning. We'll get the answer to the Cook quiz when we come back. We'll carry you through the new arm for Oakland on the other side with Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network. New pitcher in the game for the Oakland Ballers, Langston Burkett replacing Charlie Hurley after he goes 4 1/3 innings, allowing 8 runs. Coast lead 8-2. Bottom of the fifth inning, runners on first and second, and a righty-righty affair with Anthony Mata. He's 0 for 1 so far out of the stretch. Fastball by the belt for a strike. 0-1 count. Burkett out of Santa Cruz, California. Spent 2024 and 2025 in the Padres system at the Arizona Complex rookie ball level. Low leg kick, swinging a dribbler, third base side, and foul. We are still playing the Cook quiz. Joe, you've been granted a lot of time to think about this one. Which two pitchers recorded their 3,000th strikeout on Independence Day? One was July 4th, 1980, striking out the Red Cesar Geronimo. The next was 4 years later, 1984. Striking out a Rangers player. Both of these pitchers, journeymen. Next pitch in the dirt, 1-2 count. Who are you thinking about here that was on the bump in the 80s?
I have a guess. I just don't know if I want to give it now or at the end when it's my final answer to save it for dramatic effect.
Well, this is basically the end.
Okay. I'll say it after this pitch.
This one in the dirt. 2-2 count. By the way, there are two answers to this. So if you make one guess, we can log that one and suspensefully wait for the next one.
Well, I really only have one person in mind that I'm pretty sure is one of these two, that being Phil Niekro.
2-2 pitch, swung on and pelted to the backstop.
And if it is, I have quite a story for you about Phil Niekro, but only if it is one of these two.
Okay. I am waiting with bated breath here for that one. One of these pitchers retired in 1987, the next in 1993. 2-2 count for Mata. He swings, splinters his bat, bouncing to third, throw to second for one. The turn to first, all on the money. Well, Cook Quiz answers, we'll talk about him after the break. Phil Necro and Nolan Ryan. We'll recap that more when we come back. 8-2 Coast, top of the sixth, on the way on the Home Team Network. Hey again from Blair Field in Long Beach, California. The Coast at home and in control. 8-2 your score. Jake Dixon, the lefty reliever, out there for his second inning of work, facing Jeter Ibarra, Cam Buford, and Paul Winland. That's 5, 6, and 7 in the Bees order. Jesse Cook with you. Joey Miller to my right. Here with Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network. Dixon comes set. The lefty kicks up high. First pitch to Ibarra. Drops for a strike at the belt. It's an 0-1 count. Long Beach elevating itself to this 6-run lead. By the way, that pitch has been challenged, so we'll wait for the signal from our public address announcer, August McAdoo. And that is confirmed for a strike. Oakland went 0 for 2 on challenges yesterday. They missed for the first time today, so they have one challenge remaining. But Cuba Betts, the man behind the dish for Long Beach, brought the Coast this big margin with a 2-run blast in the bottom of the 5th inning. Third home run of the game for Long Beach, the first 2 from the second baseman, Jacob Jablonski. High leg kick, swing and a miss. Ibarra goes upstairs looking for that fastball. He doubled in the second but struck out on a 9-pitch battle his last time up in the 4th inning. Yesterday, his home run made waves because it tied the game up for Oakland down to the final out before Long Beach eventually walked it off. Out of the stretch, he swings and laces that one straight up the gut into center field. Ibarra 2 for 3 with that single there, leading off the 6th inning.
Absolute contact swing there. Almost looked like a cricket swing, which kind of is applicable to what the Ballers did last week, hiring a one-day contract professional cricketer.
That's right. He earned a strikeout, didn't he?
He did, but the team lost by 7.
Well, what matters is the story. Here's Cam Buford. The story for him is an RBI single last time up. He's 1 for 2. First pitch from Dixon, dances downstairs. It's a 1-0 count. Jake Dixon, 2 of his last 3 appearances have ended scoreless. He's got an opportunity to replicate that. We were talking about the Cook quiz in the 5th inning. We were wondering which 2 pitchers recorded their 3,000th strikeout on Independence Day, which is right around the corner for us. Sidearm pitch. Sinker for a strike at the knees, 1-1 count. The answers were Nolan Ryan, who did so against the Reds in 1980. Phil Necro, who did it against the Rangers for the Yankees in 1984. Both the flamethrower and the knuckleballer, Hall of Fame journeymen. Dixon fires again, bounced out, third base side at short. Anthony Mata has it, jump throw to first. It's a rainbow, and that is too late. Runners on first and second on Buford's infield knock. Anthony Mata making a Herculean effort even to just get to that baseball there, let alone throw it. Nobody out for Oakland here in the top of the 6th inning with a 6-2 Long Beach lead. Joey, I know you were chomping at the bit to tell your Phil Necro story, and I want to hear it.
Well, I'll kick things off here by saying I met him right after I graduated high school in Cooperstown, and he sang happy birthday to me just after my 18th birthday.
Paul Winland will not bat here. Nick Leahy is pinch hitting for the former Coaster. Leahy, who appeared yesterday in the starting lineup and finished 0 for 4, so it's a lefty against a righty here. In the Pioneer League, if you're replaced offensively, you can return, so we may see Winland again. Dixon out of the stretch, swinging a pop fly foul to the first base side and out of play. And Paul Winland being the designated hitter, it may be a while before we find out whether or not he's been entirely replaced. Dixon dangles his left arm by his back thigh, searching for the new signal. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Top 6. 8-2 Coast. Here he goes. Backdoor slider for a strike. 0-2 count.
But to continue that point, yeah, I told him it was my birthday, and he got an entire crowd to sing it to me. And it was just me, freshly 18, watching this old guy sing happy birthday to my face, and I felt so embarrassed in that moment.
0-2. Heater misses outside and high at 88 miles per hour. It's a 1-2 count. That's got to be the coolest birthday ever in retrospect. Embarrassing in the moment, but now that you've had plenty of time to reflect on it, does anything compare?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I actually caught up with him later, unintentionally.
1-2 pitch, swing and a line shot, straightaway left field. Eddie Pelk chasing in, he makes the catch. Turns that one back to shortstop Anthony Mata to hold the runners in check on first and second. One away, top the 6th inning, and a 6-run Coast lead.
Yeah, I was at some hotel for lunch in Cooperstown after a fun day there, and after he sang happy birthday, I found him by the trash can smoking a cigarette.
Well, here's manager Troy Percival, and there goes left-hander Jake Dixon with a new arm coming into the game. Looked like that may have been Steven Orderico warming up. We'll update you after a quick pause to shore up that fact. One out, top 6, 8-2 Long Beach, your score, with Coast Baseball returning in just a moment on the Home Team Network. Back at it in Long Beach, top the 6th inning, 8-2 Coasters score. Runners on first and second with one away and a new pitcher in the game in Ryan Fox. The right-hander relieving Jake Dixon after he journeys through 2/3 of an inning. The first batter for Fawkes, Brendan O'Sullivan. Dixon came in to end the 5th and start the 6th. Fawkes' first pitch, a fastball that forces a swing and a miss, high and away from O'Sullivan. He singled his first time up in the 3rd inning, made it to second on a balk and scored, but popped out to second base last time up in the 5th. Fawkes settles, black sleeves down to his glove, whirls home and misses high and inside on the fastball for a 1-1 count. 732 earned run average, the case for Fawkes. The 24-year-old out of Rancho Santa Margarita, trying to pitch his 3rd straight shutout appearance. Works a fastball outside for a strike there. 1-2 count. The runner on first, Cam Buford, made it on an infield hit after Jeter Ibarra led off the frame, fending off an 0-2 count straight away into center field for a knock. Ibarra taking a greedy lead off a second, maybe 10 steps off the bag. Fawkes looks him back and deals. And he bounces that curveball there for a 2-2 count. Fawkes, who began his collegiate career about an hour and a half down the road from here at San Diego State, moved much closer to Cal State Fullerton for the majority of his collegiate campaign. Spent the first season at SDSU. Next pitch, a swing and a miss, so he strikes out his first batter of the evening, and Brendan O'Sullivan, and heads for TJ McKenzie, who's done nothing but be retired by way of the K. 0 for 2.
And I recall this being a common issue with McKenzie last year, where he was a fantastic on-baseman, but he struggled a lot at the end of the season. He had a couple of golden sombreros, I recall.
Well, trying to avoid that here, he bends in at the back of the righty box in an open stance. Fawkes kicks low. Slider for a strike on the outer half. The right-hander appeared in 2 games against Modesto during the weekend series. Now here he is on Wednesday after going on Saturday and Sunday. His next pitch, a fastball, high and away. McKenzie came in defensively yesterday, and during his one plate appearance, he grounded into a fielder's choice. Stands in a tall stance. Next pitch, he swings and hammers that one off his front foot to move to a 1-2 count.
You know, I'll give him credit. That was a textbook finish on your swing. He didn't lose his balance after that swing, despite the ball going straight into his foot.
Well, it must have been enough to scare third baseman Dylan Lena, who's playing near the back of the dirt at third. Next pitch, he swings and pops it foul to the right side, out of play. This Long Beach defense has been playing especially far back on right-handed batters over the first couple games of this series. Lefties, they're more at medium depth, but we've noticed that for these right-handed Oakland hitters, they're moving back towards the outfield grass more and more. Anthony Mata, actually with his ivory cleats, bisected from the dirt by the green. Next pitch. Just misses on the heater at the shins. It's a 2-2 count. Eddie Pelkin left field playing, maybe 10 yards in front of the warning track. Two and two. Up high. Count moves to full. TJ McKenzie is a power threat. 7 home runs across now 36 games played for him. Fawkes pitching around him, but waiting on deck is not an attractive option in Tremaine Cobb. 2 for 3 with a couple singles. Coast ahead, 8-2, top of the 6th, 2 away. Runners on first and second, running with the pitch. Here they go. Swing and a miss. No, he foul tips it to keep himself alive. Cuba Bess hit by that ball in an unprotected area for the second time tonight. And here comes athletic trainer Steve Tubner. And he did not let that rest for even a moment. Tubner waiting on the dugout steps after Bess's first instance where he suffered a baseball to a rough spot. The DH today is Derek LaFerrier. He's a catcher. But there is a third option, Johnny Pappas, in case he's needed. He hit the sacrifice fly, walk-off for last night's win, and played catcher for all 9 innings. Bess is crouched down behind the plate, seeing how he feels in his generic stance. And anytime you take the baseball off of any part of your body that doesn't have padding in front of it, you feel like you're breaking in a new glove when you bend back down. And Cuba Bess evidently decides that the glove is fit to wear as he's settling back in to maintain the action here. Well, McKenzie, who's already fouled off 3 2-strike pitches, bends in again for the 9th pitch of this AB after a momentary pause. Runners on first and second. 2 away, top 6. The Coast leading by just that many. Off to the races, and he fouls off another one. 10th pitch of the AB coming up here. Correction, 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. Top of the order, waiting on the on-deck circle, and Tremaine Cobb. Here's the pitch. There they go. He swings, swats that one to deep right field. Matthew Barterwell backtracking. He reaches, and he makes the catch right in front of the warning track. McKenzie charges that one the opposite way. Headed off the bat at 97 miles per hour, but it's an atom ball, not a nuke. Long Beach headed to the plate. 9-1-2 due up in LaFerrier, Pelk, and Corona when we return with an 8-2 Coast lead on the Home Team Network. Back at it at Blair Field with an 8-2 Long Beach lead. The Coast have an opportunity to jumpstart that margin here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Derek LaFerrier leading off for the LBC opposite righty Langston Burkett. First pitch, a fastball at the knees for LaFerrier, who bends in here 0 for 2 so far in this game, but he rode into town with a .395 batting average. Next pitch, a fastball that misses low and outside for a 1-1 count. Long Beach has gotten it done today with the long ball. 3 home runs, 1 for Cuba Bess in the last inning. Next pitch, he swings and pops that one off to the right side and foul. Bess, a 2-run opposite field shot to left field in the bottom of the 5th. And in the 2nd and the 3rd, Jacob Jablonski went yard. Both of those going to right center field. Next pitch, checks his swing on a breaking ball. First base umpire Bud Dunklin says yes, he did. So LaFerrier retired by way of the K to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. That's been the case in 5 of the 6 innings now for the Coast that they've led off with an out. Eddie Pelk the only person with a leadoff hit. He is the leadoff man in the order. Singled his way aboard in the third. He's 1 for 3. First pitch to the lefty. He swipes and misses over the fastball. 0-1 count. Burkett turns in, sidearms home, and misses up high for a 1-1 count. The fastball at 89 miles per hour there to the Pelk man, who extended his season-long on-base streak. Next pitch, a curveball that misses high and outside. The Coast have played 38 games in their inaugural season. Eddie Pelk has been the leadoff man every time, and he's delivered every time. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Downstairs is a 2-2 count. All 38 games. The 25-year-old celebrating his birthday yesterday has reached base.
Truly an iron horse in this lineup. A mainstay.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a nub to the backstop. Caught that one on the neck of the bat. 2-2 count for Pelk. Waiting on deck is Emilio Corona. He seems like the logical next option to join in on the home run party. He entered the game leading the team with 11 dingers. Jacob Jablonski leapfrogging him with his pair of yard shots here. Jabomskis, we've been calling him. Count remains 2-2, one away, bottom 6. From the windup, the fastball misses low and outside. Base is empty for Pelk. He leads the Pioneer League with 56 walks, leading the Coast with 57 hits. High leg kick, swing and a miss. He's retired with a strikeout for the second time. And they're quickly 2 away in the bottom of the 6th inning for Emilio Corona, who's reached base in 2 of his 3 plate appearances, walking in the first, doubling in the third, but grounding out on a hard shot to short last time up. Langston Burkett has an opportunity to strike out the side in this inning. Walked in with a .956 earned run average and an opponent batting average of just .217. Righty-righty affair, infield back. Next pitch, swing and a miss from Corona over the heater at 92 miles per hour. From the windup again, swipes and misses up high. Corona leads the team in strikeouts with 44. Trying to stave that off today after a 1 for 5 performance last night. Burkett twists his white cleats home. Fastball just downstairs and trying to gerrymander this strike zone. The Ballers challenge this one. Jaden Kalura going for the appeal there. And the Bees are nails on that one. Straight A's with the challenge being successful. Turning Corona into a pair of shoes, watching strike 3 there. Burkett striking out the side. After he retires the Coast in order, we move on to the top of the 7th inning. 8-2 Long Beach. Joey Miller on the mic to take you home tonight with the top of the order due up for the visiting crew. Don't go anywhere. You're still listening to Coast Baseball on the Home Team Network.
Last 3 frames coming up here on this lovely Wednesday night. The sun has entirely disappeared from what was 71 degrees and sunny and gorgeous and beautiful every single day here in Long Beach, California. The first pitch misses inside. It's still Ryan Falks on the mound, throwing to Tremaine Cobb. Joey Miller, Jesse Cook, and an 8-2 lead for the Long Beach Coast currently. As the next pitch, a fastball misses low for ball 2. 71 degrees on 7-1. Have to put that,
I like it.
Put that together. First day of July. Next pitch on the outside part of the strike zone for strike 1.
And there's one hit for Eddie Pelk, the left fielder who wears number 7, so 7-1.
In the 7 position as well in left field. Next pitch misses up and in on the off speed. Falks loses and now is in a 3-1 count. This one mashed, and Eddie Pelk's not even going to move a muscle. The bat flip, and it's a solo shot for Tremaine Cobb. An absolute no-doubter, 430 feet. Oh, my goodness. Finally gets one out, and one more on the board for the Ballers, who haven't scored since the 4th inning. After a couple of scoreless frames, they're back with Tremaine Cobb's 8th bomb of the season, and boy, was that a bomb. 109 off the bat. His 3rd hit of the night as well. Balls are flying here at Blair Field. Up comes Isai Santos. The center fielder with an RBI back in the 3rd. Fouls one just beyond first base for strike 1. It was a single. On that RBI single, he's 1 for 2 with a walk this afternoon. He takes the next pitch off speed outside. Holds on that one. He was getting loading to try and maybe take a hack at it, but holds back. Here's the 1-1, a line drive over the head of Jacob Jablonski into right field. Back-to-back hits is how the 7th inning kicks off. Now 11 hits for the Ballers, out-hitting the Coast.
And Isai Santos has accounted for 2 of those. He's been a very tough out, walking in the 5th, 2 for 3 after that. He lined into a double play, but even then it was a mashed baseball there.
Now Allgaier, who accounts for 1 of the now 11 hits. Ballers trailing now by 5. Low and in the dirt, picked out of the dirt by Cuba Bess, who's been taking a beating, and now Bess is going to get a little bit of a break as Jerome Williams, the pitching coach, heads out to the mound to have a chat with Ryan Falks. Yeah, right now, something needs to be said to just calm things down a little bit right now. After giving up the leadoff home run, the single, you still have that 5-run lead, but Jerome Williams just kind of wants to put a clamp on it right now.
And I imagine at this point where you're talking to Fox after you already watched Nick Bautista face some struggles finding the strike zone when he was getting tired. You're probably recycling a lot of the same stuff about keeping your head in the game. But Jerome Williams is also very technical, and I would not expect him to head out there middle of an at-bat if he didn't see something that he thought could be fixed.
I do see a right-hander warming up in the pen, just in case this inning gets a little more out of hand. 1 on the board for the Ballers in this top of the 7th. After back-to-back innings, they played at 1 each in the 3rd and the 4th. Otherwise, this offense has been kept kind of stagnant tonight. Next pitch pops out of the glove, but in front of Cuba Bess for ball number 2 to Allgaier. 1 for 2 this afternoon. Came around to score 1 of those now 3 runs for the Oakland Ballers. Santos being held on at first by Vest. Now the pitch to Bess misses high for ball 3. working the fastball more. And typically on a 3-0 count, you want to show your fastball, your easiest to control pitch, just to try and get strike number 1. There is that fastball. Hits on the lower outside part of the strike zone and does, in fact, do the job to avoid the potential 4-pitch walk.
Allgaier had no intention of swinging there. That was funny. He stayed stagnant just with his bat out over the plate watching.
Not out of the woods yet. There's another called strike on the fastball in a very similar spot. Low and inside that time at 89 miles per hour. Nobody out and 1 on for the Ballers. Falks from the stretch. Here's the full count. It misses outside, and despite the slight comeback there for Falks, he loses it and gives up a walk. That is the 3rd walk issued to the Ballers tonight, the first one since the back-to-back walks in the 5th that Dixon would leave stranded. Now the lefty, Jaden Kalura, has 2 aboard. Runner in scoring position. And a green bat that matches the infield grass, kind of blends in from our angle. First pitch in there for a strike on a fastball outside to the left-hander.
And spying out the bullpen, Steven Ordorica has begun loosening for Long Beach.
Kalura is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Back in the 4th. Next pitch he takes outside. Took something off it there. 8-3 in favor of the Coast here. Mata covers second. There's a spin throw there by Falks. But Santos slides back in head first as the pitch clock resets. Falks pretty heavy on that fastball. Gets a 1 past. Jaden Kalura, swing and a miss, getting him off balance there, falling out of the batter's box. Now a 1-2 count as he steps outside to call for time. Falks ready to step back on the rubber. And now we're back into the swing of things. Middle infield and double play depth. Still nobody out. Here's the 1-2. Misses outside on a pitch, a waste pitch there at 91. Working the fastball, ranging from that 89 to 91 range, but I've been noticing the slower he pitches, the closer to the strike zone it is. Now this one to the right side. Vest fires a beam towards second and then on to first. Ryan Falks covers the bag. It's a twin killing. Double play. The lead runner, Santos, advances to third on the 3-6-1 double play. That is the 3rd double play recorded by the Long Beach Coast this afternoon. Unconventional as it may be, it's big breath for Falks, who can get out of it. But he still has to face Jeter Ibarra, who saw a 2-out situation where the Ballers they had their backs against the wall last night, and he sent one over the left field wall. Bess puts a good stop on a pitch in the dirt, spiked on that slider there. 1-0 count, but prevents a run from coming in. Now Falks waits a moment. Now the 1-0 count. Misses high and outside. Pops out of the glove of Cuba Bess, but in front of him again. Cuba Bess getting reacclimated as the backstop to give Johnny Pappas a break. I say a break. He's still been catching the warm-up pitches between innings. Here's the 2-0. Hits on that changeup. Cuts inside, a little bit of horizontal movement inwards on the lefty. It's a 2-1 count now. Falks looks over at third before firing the 2-1 count. There it is on the outside part of the plate this time on that similar changeup at 82. From a 2-0 now to a 2-2 with 2 outs. Ibarra, 2 for 3 this afternoon. Takes the next pitch high and outside. On the fastball. Into a full count. The typical situation where you see the runners going on the next pitch, but with a runner at third, he'll likely stay put and see what happens. That's usually if there's a force out, I should say. Falks gets a sign from Bess. Here's the payoff pitch. Sent into the sky on the right field line. Bardwell heads into the corner where we cannot see him, but it still falls on top of the hitting facility. It's a foul ball. That's a little bit of a blind spot for us. We saw 1 or 2 grabs out there here at home early in this season. Still a full count and a chance to head into stretch time here. And there it is, the dot at the knees. Ibarra can't believe it. He's not going to challenge it. He stays frozen at the plate for a minute. The backwards K for Ryan Falks ends the inning and leaves 1 stranded, but 1 comes around to score the home run by Tremaine Cobb. It's 8-3 heading into stretch time here at Blair Field on Home Team Network. Burkett coming back onto the mound, heading into his 3rd frame. He finished out the 5th and then a perfect 6th. Struck out the side. He's going to try and carry that into this bottom of the 7th. His team gave him a little bit of run support. Now a 5-run deficit for the Ballers. 8-3 is the score. Cooper Vest, the first up to face Burkett. He has a strikeout on the night from the starter, Charlie Hurley, who finished his line with 4 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 8 runs, all 8 runs on his ticket thus far, 3 walks, and 4 hit by pitches. That's 7 free bases, folks. It's the first pitch. Cuts inside to the lefty for ball 1, as well as 4 strikeouts as well. 1-0, he gets a piece of it, but it's fouled back to the backstop for strike 1.
It is worth noting that Burkett has faced 4 batters and retired all 4, so just the starter who's given the coast this cushion.
The next pitch from Burkett bends outside for ball 2. Burkett from Santa Cruz gets the 2-1 again, fouled to the backstop. Now for strike 2 on Vest, who this afternoon has yet to get a hit, but has reached twice. A base on balls and the very familiar hit by pitch. He was one of the 4, but something he is very accustomed to at this point. 2-2 off the end of his bat and over the third base awning, over the seats. 5 pitches into this at-bat from the former Padres farmhand, standing at 6-6. 2-2 misses outside, brings it to a full count. So we've had 2 tall hillsmen on the bump for Oakland tonight, a 6'8 starter and a 6'6 reliever. 3-2, a swing and a miss. Gets the battle, wins the battle on Cooper Vest. And that is 4 straight strikeouts for Burkett. First out of this bottom of the 7th brings up Matthew Bardowell.
Not a bad run. You face 5 batters. The only one you don't strike out actually produces 2 outs in the form of a double play.
Now Bardowell takes the first pitch on a slider, hits on the outside corner. Good cut across the plate for this righty-on-righty matchup. Takes the next pitch on a fastball this time for a called strike 2. Ask for time. 5 RBI between the first 2 games thus far. A home run yesterday. Next pitch, well outside, gets past Kalura, but nobody on, so no harm. 1-2. Bardowell, his home run, the lone home run for the Long Beach Coast yesterday, was the 30th on the season. There's a swing and a miss on the fastball for strike 3. That is 5 in a row.
And these pitches aren't necessarily the fastest balls these guys have seen. That one was 93. That was one of the faster ones. That is a good speed. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like he's just blowing Coast batters away. He's working methodically with good spin away from right-handed batters.
Now Bass takes the first pitch outside. He was one of the last to see Charlie Hurley on the 2-run home run back in the 5th. Next pitch outside, trying to avoid the heavy-hitting catcher tonight. And what I mean by 30 home runs for Bardowell, by the way, is 30 home runs against the Ballers specifically. They have far more than that at this point, including 3 tonight. There is a heavy swing and a miss at the fastball upstairs, went chasing. 2-1 on Cuba Bass. Next pitch fouled to the top of the screen on the third base side. Now a 2-2 count. 3 ribbies on the night for the lefty from Fruita, Colorado. Strikeout as well back in the 2nd. Next pitch, fastball, misses outside. Good hold there.
We can hear our friend the organist, Jeff Liffman, playing Tell Me Something Good in the background. Well, something good for Long Beach is that Jacob Jablonski is waiting on deck, and he's made it aboard every single time. An error last time, 2 home runs to complement Cuba Bess's 5th inning dinger.
Here's the 3-2. Off the end of his bat, he stays alive. Fighting off some contact swings here. The righty Burkett not wanting to give Cuba Bess anything to drive. Staying outside of the zone. Well, this one cuts back in the zone. Cuba Bess still under it, fouls it back. That was the 7th pitch of this at-bat. A lot of long at-bats this afternoon on both sides. This being Cuba's longest of the day. Second full count for Burkett this inning, as this one is sent right into the glove of Santos. That ends the streak of strikeouts for Burkett, but back-to-back perfect innings for the 6-6 reliever for Oakland. Gets the shutdown on an 8-3 deficit for the Ballers. Coast carry the lead into the 8th when we come back on Home Team Network. New righty on the mound for Long Beach. New for Blair Field and its occupants on this Wednesday night in July. Liam Rocha, who was just signed last week to this squad, coming out of the pen, a righty from Baldwin Park, California, a former minor leaguer in the Twins organization. He's going to face off against Cam Buford to kick things off here in the top of the 8th. 8-3 is the score as the first pitch misses high for ball one. 2 appearances on the road in Modesto last week for Rocha out of the pen, both 2 innings of work. Next pitch, ball inside. But prior to that, well, he's facing off against the team that he played for, the starter and now the reliever, Nick Bautista into Liam Rocha, a couple relievers later, both former Ballers. This one popped up in the air on the edge of the outfield grass. Jablonski has it in his sights for out number 1. Rocha, in those 2 appearances with Long Beach, has yet to give up a run. Gave up 4 hits in those combined 4 innings of work. Only 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. And I was listening to Jerome Williams talk to me. He said he had a conversation with Aaron Miles prior to yesterday's game. This one, a big hit into right center. Corona back at the fence, leaps up, but it heads over his glove. There's another shot for the Ballers. There is, I believe that's Paul Winland. No. Yes, Paul Winland. Gets a solo shot there, making it 8-4. Against his former squad, nonetheless. And now, Brendan O'Sullivan to the plate. 397 feet, by the way, on that home run. 2 home runs for the Ballers tonight. 5 have left the yard in total between the 2 teams as the first pitch is fouled back for strike 1 on O'Sullivan. 1 out here in the 8th. Oh-1 misses low and outside. 83rd home run of the season for the Ballers, who have been back and forth with the Billings Mustangs. It's kind of been a trend with the Billings Mustangs. Last year, I guess it was the Missoula Paddleheads who had a lot of home runs. Roberto Pena, one of the league leaders in home runs, career home runs in the Pioneer League. As this one's fouled out by the first base side. A 1-2 for Brendan O'Sullivan. Rocha comes set. Here's the 1-2, misses high. That home run, by the way, is the first that Rocha has given up in a Long Beach uniform, and the third that he has given up on the season. He gave up 2 with Long Beach, including 1 to Long Beach. This one just over the head of Lena into left field. It's going to be a single, a 1-out single following that solo shot for O'Sullivan, his second hit of the game. Brings up the 9 spot, TJ McKenzie. Ballers trying to start a little bit of something to try and chip away at what has now become a 4-run deficit. It was at a point a 5-run deficit just a couple of innings ago. And at a certain point, it was actually a 6-run deficit. Ballers have put up 1 apiece in the 7th and 8th inning, holding off the Coast offense in the past couple of frames. Next pitch up and in. A little bit of chin music there for TJ McKenzie. 91 miles per hour as Rocha tries to get him to move off the plate. The righty McKenzie looks on for the 1-0, which misses high and outside, slips out of the hands there. McKenzie 0 for 3 this afternoon. A couple of strikeouts, and now Percival has to head to the mound. Didn't see anybody warming up in the bullpen, so this might just be a mound visit as he draws in his infield.
There are a couple players very hurriedly getting loose out there, and actually I believe that this is it for Rocha.
I think you're right, yes.
Someone else comes on.
Looks to be a new righty. We'll tell you who it is when we come back. 8-4 now. And by the sound of it, it's Steven Ordorica. There's the surprise spoiled. We'll be right back here on Home Team Network. A pitching change in the middle of an at-bat. A 2-0 count on T.J. McKenzie. As there's a called strike from the new arm on the mound, the rock skipper from La Puente, California, Steven Ordorica. And the first pitch is challenged. It's overturned to a ball. It's going to be the second successful challenge for the Ballers, who are 2 for 3. Now, a 3-0 count. Ordorica sets and fires. There is a fastball in there for called strike. Now a 3-1 count. Runner at first, 1 out, and there's a throw to check on said runner. Good throw, but Brendan O'Sullivan is back safely. Here's the 3-1 hitter's count. It misses low and inside, and for the first time this afternoon, T.J. McKenzie is aboard. A dangerous base runner, but he is now the trail runner behind O'Sullivan. Now back to the top of the lineup with Tremaine Cobb. Sent one right over the left field wall his last time up against Ryan Falks. He is now 3 for 4 this afternoon. Takes the first pitch, strike 1. And now with this 4-run deficit and an apparent home run threat, he could put this game within 1 with just 1 swing. Next pitch inside. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Ordorica, the submarine pitcher, typically put into a firefighter situation like this. Gets a big swing and a miss. Took something off at that time, 74, as it slowly grooves its way across the plate, and Cobb couldn't help himself. He just went after it. Now the 1-2. There's a foul ball right into the dirt. Not a lot of long counts this afternoon for Tremaine Cobb. He had a couple of 3-ball counts, but for his other 2 at-bats, it really took him 3 or less pitches to get the ball in play, including the only one where he's been retired tonight, 3 unassisted back in the 3rd. 1-2, a check swing outside. A slider, he does not go. Evens up at 2-2. Ordorica stands tall and now dips back into his motion. 2-2, softly hit towards Jablonski. Gets it to Mata at second, and the throw is errant into the Long Beach dugout. That's going to allow a run to score on the throwing error by Mata. At least 1 out is recorded, but now it's 8-5 in favor of the Ballers. A little bit of airmail there. Now up comes Isai Santos with Tremaine Cobb and Brendan O'Sullivan coming in there. Santos, a couple of hits this afternoon, sends one foul towards the third base sky. Over the net as well. Two runs in this top of the 8th. 0-1 fouled the same side, a little bit further in terms of the distance on that foul ball. Distance obviously doesn't matter on any foul ball as a batter. What does matter to Ordorica is he is just 1 strike away from escaping this inning. 8-5 in favor of the hometown Coast. This one on the ground towards Jablonski. A couple of hops and a routine 4-3 will end the inning. Nothing on Ordorica's ticket, but the home run and the fielder's choice turned error cashes in a couple more for the Ballers, who now trail by 3 heading into the bottom of the 8th. 8-5 is the score. We'll be right back on Home Team Network. Bottom of the 8th, and the Coast have some work to do. What was once a 6-run lead is now a 3-run lead. 8-5, and a new pitcher on the mound, Jacob Petersheim, out of Broadway, Virginia. RMAC product, the Division II level. First pitch fouled off by Jablonski for strike one in Colorado State Pueblo. There are a couple people in this league from the RMAC. One that I can think of on the Freebirds, Christian Castaneda. Next pitch misses outside, now an even 1-1 count to Jablonski, who's had a monster night. Couple of monster shots, one to center field and one to right field. The first multi-home run game by a Coast member here at Blair Field. This next pitch in the dirt. It's a 2-1 count. Peter Scheim, his third appearance of the year. 2-1 in there for strike number 2 on a fastball at 91. The righty rocks back and fires. There's a strikeout on a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. And he is retired for the first out of the 8th. But Langston Burkett, who preceded Peter Scheim, has been perfect through his 7 batters faced. That is now 8 straight retired for the Oakland Ballers relief staff. Here's Dylan Lena trying to break that trend. So there's a fastball called for a strike. And this is kind of similar to what we saw on the other side. Nathan Hemmerling, after the Coast provide a little bit of late run support, the pitching side puts up a couple of zeros, as the Ballers have in these past couple of innings. There's a called strike number 2 to the rookie making his professional debut tonight. Could this be the turn of the tides for the Coast? 0-2, a swing and a miss, and back-to-back Ks for Peter Scheim. In the past 3 frames alone, that is now 7 strikeouts for the Long Beach Coast. Anthony Mata with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll try and get something going here. He started this trend, grounding out into a double play to end the 5th inning. He was the start of that now 9 straight. Takes a slider. It's a 1-1 count. Now facing off against the new righty, Mata watches another slider outside. Mata 0 for 2 this afternoon. A walk back in the 2nd. Takes right on the outside corner. Even 2-2 count. Peter Scheim, a chance to mirror what Langston Burkett has done for the past couple of innings on this Coast offense. Peter Scheim waits a second. Now from the full, the 2-2, a swing and a miss. Peter Scheim strikes out the side. Mata tosses his bat, and now it'll likely be up to, I'm going to assume, Zach Volker to hold this lead and potentially get a save here heading into the 9th. 8-5, Long Beach. We'll be right back on Home Team Network. Well, I said it might be Volker, but turns out it's getting a little cold. I'd say it's getting a little chilly.
One could say that.
Steven Ordorica, nicknamed Chili. He's going to stay on the mound and into now a save situation in this top of the ninth, 8-5. Long Beach, 3 outs away from clinching this series over the Oakland Ballers. And the first pitch misses inside to Jake Allgaier to kick off this top of the ninth. Next pitch misses outside, quickly 2-0, and maybe Percival's a little shy of getting Volker in after he was going for save number 7 last night. Blew the save to Jeter Ibarra's 9th inning home run on 2 outs. There's a called strike 1.
And it was a 2-inning appearance for Volker, but now with Chile, he gets to stew for the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Rock skipper has a chance to shut things down.
This one a line drive, but fouled near the first base party deck.
Normally we see Ordorica wrap up an inning like he did and stay put in the dugout afterwards, but this time after a string of a third of an inning appearances throughout the season, they're trusting him to go the distance here.
Ordorica has a 2-1 record, but no saves. This one gets the edge of the zone on the outside part of the plate, and Allgaier challenges it. And it's going to be overturned for the 3rd straight successful challenge for the Ballers, bringing it to a full count. Ordorica has 2 professional saves, one in 2024 and one in 2025, both with the Idaho Falls Chuckers. Not often in this scenario for the reliever. This one tapped in front of home plate, but goes foul. The count remains the same. Allgaier with the neon green arm sleeve and the matching, or the team color matching, yellow batting gloves. 3-2 once more. This one fouled into the parking lot on the third base side. Nobody on, nobody out here in the top of the ninth. And right now the Ballers have found a way aboard so many times tonight. They've left one stranded for all except 2 innings. And they're going to get another base runner to start off this ninth as Ordorica loses him outside. And that might be it for Ordorica. Percival paces out to the mound, and I think now we're going to hear War Pigs with Ordorica giving up the lead base runner on the base on balls. We'll tell you who the new arm is when we come back on Home Team Network. Well, this may sound odd, but we're in Los Angeles County. We're in the ninth, and a closer coming in for a save opportunity with the last name Percival We are close to Angels Stadium, but no, it is not that Percival. He's in the dugout. However, this is his son, Cole Percival, making his Blairfield debut for the Long Beach Coast. Has one prior. He was signed last week, trade from the Lexington Legends in the Atlantic League. In his one appearance, he has a save against Modesto. That was last week. And now he's going to come into a new save situation. Kicking things off with Jaden Kalura. Percival, the right-hander. Big wind, and the pitch hits at the knees at 92. Now, I understand he's got some speed. He's got some pretty nice velo. Typically 94 to 97 when he warms up. He did reach AAA last year for the Twins. Next pitch, the 0-1, a swing and a miss on the off-speed this time. Good downward movement on that off-speed, too. They'll get a hit of the rosin bag. Runner at first on the leadoff walk to Allgaier. That ended Ordorica, his appearance. It was supposed to be his save, but Percival went to Percival. 8-5 is the score in favor of the Long Beach Coast. No outs here in the top of the ninth. Next pitch, line down the third baseline and foul. Percival from the area, from Riverside, is happy to be back home after spending the top part of this season in Lexington, Kentucky. Nothing against the Atlantic League, another fellow MLB partner league. Here's the 0-2. Next pitch misses inside for ball one. It's obviously a lot nicer when you get to enjoy the comforts of home during a baseball season. Lexington, Kentucky, a good ways away, so he met them in Modesto. Here's the 1-2. Misses low and inside. A good stop there by Bess. Now a 2-2 count. That time, fastball just forked. 94. As he's starting to heat up. Traded for a player to be named later. With the Lexington Legends, an 0-1 record across 3 appearances. This one sent in the air to right field a good ways. Bardwell back at the warning track. He does not make the catch. It stays in the yard, though. It's going to be a double for Jaden Kalura, getting 2 into scoring position for Jeter Ibarra, who spoiled things in the ninth last night. That one went 367 feet. And now there is a new arm. That is Zach Volker for sure.
You guessed it. Third time's the charm.
Yeah, third time's the charm. That's should something damaging happen here, as it did against Zach Volker last night. Jeter Ibarra, the guy to go to for the Oakland Ballers, who already has 2 hits on the night. He's 2 for 4.
Tied the game with a homer last night in the 9th inning. He could do it again here.
Percival is going to try and make sure that doesn't happen. Still no outs as he swings under that pitch. It's fouled back into the net by the on-deck circle where Cam Buford chases it and gets it out of the field of play. Early 0-1 count. Percival from the stretch now. Big leg kick, and this one into center field. That scores 1. Miles is going to hold Kalura at third. Now runners at the corners make it a 2-run ball game, 8-6. On the RBI single by Jeter Ibarra. Jeter Ibarra and the top of the 9th at Blair Field seems to be a winning combination thus far. Now no. Cam Buford with runners at the corners. More importantly, the tying run on base. Next pitch misses low and outside. First pitch to Buford, who is 2 for 4, just like Ibarra. RBI single back in the 4th. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Downwards on that sinking action. I believe that might have been a splitter, actually. I think he's the only pitcher with a splitter in the Long Beach Coast arsenal. Now an even 1-1 count. In the dirt. Good block by Cuba Bass. Percival, just a couple years younger than Bass, couple of the 90s kids. Percival born in 99, Bass born in 97. A couple of the older guys on the roster. Here's the 2-1. Sent in the air down the right field line. Bardwell chasing down the line. Out of our view, it is foul. Now a 2-2 count, a loud second strike. Percival finding a routine. He loves to take a piece of that rosin bag after every foul ball, it seems. The left fielder for the Ballers stands tall in the right-handed batter's box. And there's a swing and a miss. Percival wins a battle here and gets out number 1 on a strikeout. Still danger, potential danger with Paul Winland coming up to the plate. Now I know some things had to be shuffled around, causing Paul Winland to leave the Long Beach Coast. He's already left the yard today. But it was in the same week where Percival was added, Paul Winland was cut. Percival's going to step off the mound before firing the first pitch. Again, going for the rosin bag. Paul Winland, a no-doubter to right center his last time up. One of now 2 home runs on the day. Pops one up over the net and over the seats on top of the awning. And there's strike 1. 1 away, and yeah, what revenge this could be potentially for Winland with his former manager in the other dugout off of the coach's son, too. Here's the 0-1. In the air to center field, it'll hang for Corona. Moving in, and he's going to make a throw in, a good one at that. Good cutoff there by Mata. Keeps everybody put. Now 2 outs. Percival can still get the job done despite one coming across on the ticket for Ordorica. It's going to be Brendan O'Sullivan, the last hope for the Ballers before the Coast potentially clinch this series. Sullivan, 2 for 4 this afternoon. First pitch is fouled over the net on the first base side for strike 1. In both instances, both of his singles in the 3rd and the 8th, he came around to score. His first time facing against the tall right-hander. Cole Percival comes set right below the belt. The 0-1. Misses outside on that fastball. The crowd doesn't like it. It's going to be challenged, actually. And it's going to be overturned. 2 for 2 for the Coast. And now just 1 strike away from getting their 9th consecutive series victory. Crowd starting to get on their feet on this Wednesday afternoon. Clapping along, still runners on the corners. Here's the 0-2. Gets past Cuba Best. Both runners will advance. Sliding head first is Jaden Kalura on the wild pitch there by Percival. It is a one-run ball game and a 1-2 count. Drama rising here at Blair Field. Now the tying run in scoring position. O'Sullivan looking on to Percival. Percival takes a breath. Looks back at second base twice. Here's the 1-2 off the end of his bat and into the first base net. The tension continuing to rise here.
Well, it can't be easy. Oakland battled back to force the bottom of the ninth yesterday with a game-tying Jeter Ibarra home run down to the last out. Oakland's going to battle.
Here is, once again, the 1-2 count to O'Sullivan. Percival, before he throws that, is going to turn around and keep Ibarra honest at second. Playing with the timing here. Percival nods, but steps off once more. Another time is called here, and the pitch clock resets for a third time. 1-2, 2 outs. Here's that 1-2. It misses outside on the slider.
Now, waiting on deck, you have T.J. McKenzie. He's had a rough day, 0 for 3, a couple strikeouts, but he hit the ball hard in his third trip to the plate, a line out to right field, walking last time up.
Deuce is wild. The 2-2 with 2 outs. Here's Percival. A swing and a miss. Percival gets the save and holds the Oakland Ballers for the series victory. 9 in a row and the 10th on the year for the Long Beach Coast. 8-7 victory for the first day of July, kicking off the month strong. What a close situation it was in those final frames. It looked like the scales were starting to tip back in favor of Oakland, but Percival holds the door for Percival, Troy, his father, his second save on the season. And the post-game recap will be on the other side of this break. Again, the final score, 8-7. We'll be right back on Home Team Network. Here's the post-game report. Joey Miller, Jesse Cook from the booth here at Blair Field. The Coast get the first 2 of 3 over the Oakland Ballers, their 8th win over the Ballers. And and the first win of July. 9 in a row, series-wise, 10 on the season against the only team that has beat the Coast in a series. But when they come to Blair Field, it's going to be a show every single night. What a show it was. At the beginning of this game, it looked like the opposite of what we saw on Tuesday night. Long Beach getting 6 runs in the first 3 innings to Oakland's 1, slowly creeping back. But then, all of a sudden in those middle innings, once the starter, Nick Bautista, leaves the game, Jake Dixon puts up a 0 on the board. Ryan Fox gives up a home run to Tremaine Cobb. That's when things start to tilt in the direction for the Oakland Ballers in those final 3 innings where they get 5 runs back. However, it was not enough with those extra 2 insurance runs in the 5th. That proved to be quite essential. Those 2 insurance runs in the bottom of the 5th off of the bat of Cuba Bess, one of the 3 home runs of the night. The other 2 for one player and one player only. They call him Jabs, Jacob Jabomski. And right now, balls are flying, and the interesting thing here, Jesse, is they got out-hit by 10 hits tonight, but the one thing I'm looking right now on my scorebook at is the Ballers left 10 on base. The Coast left 3 on base. For the Coast, who typically average around 9 to 10 left on base, it is a sigh of relief to see that when they get runners aboard, they're coming around to score. Maybe not in those final couple of innings where a lot of strikeouts ensued. As a matter of fact, if my tally is correct, that's 12 strikeouts on the night for the Coast, most of which came in the final 3 offensive frames, that being 7 of those 12, being silenced by Langston Burkett and Jacob Petersheim. Jesse, what did you see went well? What did you see did not go well for the Coast tonight?
Well, I'd say the home runs and the home runs. 3 home runs hit by the Long Beach offense, 2 for Jacob Jablonski, 1 for Cuba Bess. But on the other side, Oakland swats a pair as well. 5 home runs. I believe that is the highest number we've seen in a game combined by 2 teams here at Blair Field. I'll have to double check that one, but it's definitely up there. Oakland did a really good job of battling, and Long Beach, of course, walks away victorious. It's 9 straight series wins, 10 on the year, but Oakland can hold its head high going into the final game of this 3-game setup tomorrow night. As far as the pitching staff, Long Beach struggled with the long ball, but with hits in general. That's 15 surrendered by the team. The only pitcher who did not allow a knock was Steven Ordorica, but he still walked a pair of batters. So there are checks and balances here where sure he was forcing weak contact, but when he didn't force contact, it resulted in Oakland reaching base. So that's something for the Coast to work on heading into tomorrow and then the end of the week out in Yuba Sutter. But you're also going to have games like this. The long ball for the offense is something I really liked. I just am not a fan of the 10 straight batters being retired to end the game. I'm sure hitting coach Troy Gloss will have some choice words for his team on how to fix that going into the Thursday night game.
Jake Dixon gets the win. He's 2-0 on the season. Hurley, his 2nd consecutive loss. He's now 1-3. Percival with his 2nd save. And now here's the interesting thing. That is, we have now witnessed the first Pioneer League team to 30 wins. 30-8 is the record for the Long Beach Coast, getting it tonight to kick off July. Their magic number, Jesse, now down to 4. Would you believe it? The 8-game winning streak for Glacier ends tonight. The Voyagers get one over on the Range Riders, who are in 3rd place still currently with a record of 23-15. So, we're getting closer now. 10 games left in the first half. 4 is the magic number. Obviously, we'd like to see them clinch it here. For that to happen, some things would need to go wrong in Yuba Sutter, or potentially for the Range Riders, things to go right. But right now, they're a game and a half ahead of Billings, who are 28-9. They just won tonight. Really interesting to see that number fall, because we didn't think that this trend would end for the Glacier Range Riders, who were up and running. But now the Coast can get it by the end of this week, should they win out, with the final game tomorrow night at 6:35, and then they head to Yuba Sutter for a 3-game stint before they come back and face the Freebirds again. 8-7 is the final score. 15 hits for the Ballers, 5 for the Coast, but it was enough. 3 of those 5 hits were home runs. So we will see you tomorrow night. 6:15 is the Beach Ball pregame show for the series finale. They'll be looking for the 4th sweep of the season and the potential 2nd here at Blair Field. Any final thoughts here, Jesse?
Well, it could also be the 2nd sweep against the Ballers, who I know the record of 16-22 doesn't inspire tons of confidence, but Oakland is a very good team. We've seen that these last 2 days. So if you can go out and sweep these Bees, then you should really ride into the weekend series up in Marysville against Yuba Sutter with your heads held very high. This is an LBC team that has faced some weaker opponents like Yuba Sutter and the Mobiles, but has also prevailed against tougher teams that are in contention for the playoffs. If not in the first half, will definitely be a contender in the second half, like Modesto and Oakland. So regardless of what happens tomorrow, there is a lot to be happy about for the Coast. But if you can go in and win again against the Ballers, there aren't a lot of teams in the Pioneer League that I can imagine stopping you.
I definitely think it'll be a statement piece, depending on how tomorrow goes. We will see you tomorrow night to finish out this 3rd homestand. But for now, after this 8-7 victory on this Wednesday night, happy July. We'll see you to celebrate America's 250 tomorrow. And that's about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now it's time for us to tune out. Joey Miller, Jesse Cook. See you tomorrow.